There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steeltoe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's script to Erin's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma. Another win, oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. From revenge porn to felony, it's a circus, can't you see? The toe is bent, the goal is spent. His empire crumbles, all hell sent. April's playlist on repeat. Erin's lies we can't defeat. The countdown's on, it won't take long to see this piggy squeal his song. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. Oh, this little piggy ain't missing a thing. Just sit back, laugh, and watch the king.
Welcome to This Little Piggy, a weekly roundtable discussion about the Steeltoe Morning Show and its sex demon-possessed tattletale faggot host, Erin. I'm Carl from the zip line over Fremont Street. With me, as always, from Hackamania 3's post-show live stream, it's Moody. What's up, Moody?
Hey, it's not actually me. I'm just possessed by a demon. So
I knew
a
it.
Demon that's joining the show with you guys.
Also with us from WATP and one episode of NCIS, it's Adam Bush. What's up, Adam?
I have always been the demon, so I'm in my comfort zone.
Wow. The demon sex talk. We're going to get into it. It's interesting. Support the show today. Supertip.gg/WATP. Participate in the show and support us. We do appreciate that. So, guys, I think we all agree that this week Erin crossed the line. And I have fun doing this show. I have fun making fun of Erin. We always have had fun making fun of Erin. It's always been a goof. And I don't get angry with people. I've said this many times. Even when Stuttering John sued me, which was mildly inconvenient for my lifestyle, I didn't get angry at him. Like, well, that's what John's going to do. You know, he's an idiot. I'm actually angry at Erin this week.
Mm-hmm.
What he's doing with Dr. Steve is enraging.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever felt upset listening to the Steeltoe Morning Show, but he managed to do it this week. He made me seethe. It crossed a line. This is one of the nicest people in the world. He does not deserve any sort of targeting in this way. And I think if Erin picked up the phone and called Dr. Steve for help even today after doing all of this, Dr. Steve would still help Erin in whatever way he could. This guy is, I don't know. You can't find someone who has a bad thing to say about him.
Yeah, it's the worst person to go after. We saw that with Stuttering John when he decided to go after Dr. Steve and try to get his medical license revoked. And everyone turned. It's just like, you can't. Everyone loves Dr. Steve. He's the sweetest man in the Dabbleverse. He's just a sweetheart. It goes back to the Opie and Anthony show and Howard Stern. He's been a part of all these things. And no one's ever had a problem with Dr. Steve. He's amazing.
He's a genuine force for good in the world. Like, he's entered quite a toxic manosphere, if you want to break down the Opie and Anthony sort of and that sort of world. Like, it is a bit like the toxic masculinity stuff and all of that. We don't go to the doctor, that sort of thing. And he makes access to medicine a lot more easier for men who really, really do need it. I don't. It's like going after Mr. Rogers. He's I don't like that.
So we'll get into that. Where I want to start is something a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun. Now, we had the puppet show at Hackamania, and holy shit, Hackamania. Everyone who came out, thank you so much for coming out to that show. What a blast. What a weekend. I'm still flying high. It was one of the best weekends of my life, was Hackamania. So thank you to Moody and Patrick and Sean, everyone who put that all together. Vinny Paulino was a big part of that. And then, Adam, great hanging with you all weekend. We don't get to see each other too often in person, so that's always fun.
It was the best, and it was the best seeing the level of talent that exists in the Dabbleverse, because it is operating at a very high level. From the videos that were sent in, to the puppet shows, to all the podcasts, to even letting the audience become the streamers and do their own shit on stage. It doesn't happen very often. You know, you go to see your favorite rock band, they're not like, who plays guitar? Get on up here. It's great that everyone was able and willing to do it.
Yeah, and that's a good point. A lot of people in the audience are streamers. A lot of people have their own channels, and you're hanging out with Rochi and Echo and Shmuel and Husey and all these guys, Penny. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And yet everyone's very respectful, and they're all there to see the show and to hang out and to have a good time. And so no one thought it was about them or tried to make it
Why
about
is everybody
themselves.
so respectful? Why is everyone who's so angry and so vitriolic so nice and sensitive in person?
There's only one person who wanted to make it all about him, and that's Ethan Ralph.
Oh, right.
And thankfully, he didn't make it into the show. And
He was upstaged by Granny being a more successful sex worker than Keanu that weekend.
yeah, you're right. Holy shit, I never thought of it that way. Granny made more money in sex work in one night than Keanu made in her career. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. I'm doing the accounting, but I think it's safe to say.
It's a safe bet. I think it's a
Yeah.
safe bet.
Wow. Who lost their dignity? Like,
Yeah, who do you?
trying to make this comparison. I'm not sure. I wouldn't want to be in either camp, I suppose.
Of what? Like the two sides of the Granny camp, or like Granny versus Keanu?
Granny versus Keanu.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough.
I don't know.
Anyway, the reason why I bring up the puppet show and Hackamania and how great everything was is because the Ava puppet is like a demon. And so El Horrible was on the other night. Or no, maybe it was Karmic X, whatever that character is that Rocco does. Anyway, one of his characters was on the other night and was talking about how he's going to repurpose the Ava puppet to be the sex demon, Erin's sex demon. And so this came out on Monday's episode of Steeltoe, where Erin has figured out why the polycule existed and why he was up to no good with the Ricadas in April.
And it made me convinced that, okay, this is going to sound nuts, and I need the audience to stop watching the show right now. This is just Johnny and I. I've been thinking about telling SP. I've been thinking about like telling my parents or.
By the way, real quick, I see Pretty Antisocial is in the chat. You have the link in your DMs if you want to come on and join us. I sent that to you today on X.
Whatever, or anybody, but I can't because they'll think I'm nuts. Just hang with me for, if you've listened to the Father Ripperger thing, it makes sense. I think I may have had some sort of demonic influence / possession when I was making all my sex
Making your big
mistakes and all that stuff. Yeah, I think I had a sex demon.
All right. Before we get into this, how stupid this is. Look at this coordination they're doing now where Johnny's green screen has the other side of Erin's stupid background.
It's 100% Johnny that's doing this.
I mean, it almost lines up, which makes
Almost.
it weird. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if it was off by a lot, you'd be like, okay, whatever. If it's off, it's off. I mean, if it's on, but this is just like bizarre. How long did they spend trying to get this to
Just so we're clear,
match up?
11-year-olds making a TikTok would not accept that. They'd be like, give me that. That's embarrassing. You can't have a line in the middle that doesn't line up.
Right.
It's insane because like they could, from a technical point of view, what's happening is Johnny has a green screen behind him and he's chroma keyed that out in OBS and is sending that over Zoom to Erin, who was then putting it into his OBS and putting that on the screen. There's nothing stopping Johnny sending himself with a green screen over Zoom and then Erin doing the chroma keying out on his side, and there would be no line at all. It would always show the background, but he's too lazy to do that.
That sounds
for
like
his
a
own
lot
show.
of work, Moody. I don't know if they can pull that
Yeah.
off.
Let Johnny do everything.
All right. So Erin just said he thinks that he was possessed by a sex demon. And he elaborates on this.
And going to, I had to look it up. I'm like, does going to Catholic Mass exorcise demons? And they were like, yes, holy water, going to Mass, and receiving the Eucharist. chases out demons.
Did you start?
All right, I've said on this show a couple of times, I think Aaron's a smart guy. I take it all back. This is the dumbest horseshit I've ever heard. Does he really think like, this new Catholicism thing that he's doing is so silly to begin with? But now he's talking about holy water and exorcising demons with a straight face?
It's anything to escape accountability. It wasn't me. It was the demon that did it.
What did he say? He took the Eucharist? What was that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's like doing the transubstantiation. It's going up and
You're not helping. Moody, you're not. It's getting less clear the more you talk.
Drinking the wine and eating the bread.
So taking that little wafer?
Yes. So having the wafer, having the little cup of wine.
I was in New York for Easter, and I was walking with my family, and St. Patrick's Cathedral was open to the public, and we went in and took in Mass, and I took in the body of Christ from... and then left. So I'm with him in understanding deeply what he's talking about. Let's let him continue.
I love how you act like Jews don't have ridiculous traditions. You're like, what kind of horse shit are these guys up to? What?
I'm saying quite the opposite. I'm saying I did it with my
You're
heart
all in.
open.
Yeah.
I was hoping that you had anal sex with a chick in St. Patrick's Cathedral. I was hoping you were going back to...
The story wasn't finished. I wasn't done yet.
Do you think you're actually Jewish, or there's a demon inside you that makes you Jewish?
Half Jewish, all demon.
Right.
point.
Oh wait, but that's right. You started going, but you went to Mass with the group, didn't you?
No, not Catholic Mass. No, sirree, Bob.
Okay, so you just went.
No,
so
siree,
like,
Bob. That's how you know
Mass
that the
doesn't do
Catholic
it.
Church is, the real shit, because that other stuff doesn't do shit for you.
This is insane. So, as we know, the polycule went to church on Sunday mornings. It's one of the reasons why there was all this suspicion around them and their drug use and carrying on, how they would behave in church. And so Johnny's like, yeah, but you were going to church the whole time. He's like, no. Wrong church, Johnny. I've now figured out the actual right religion, and that is Catholicism.
Which
Duh.
also happens to be the one he grew up in. How lucky. How lucky he was born into that.
It's so fucking stupid. Who is this for? It's like what you tell children.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards, as I was talking to Father Ripperger, or as I was listening to Father Ripperger, I was like, holy shit, that's not, and Tucker was even saying, I know people like that. Oh my God, that's amazing. Now, Father Ripperger also said that, like, sometimes people just make shitty decisions. Like sometimes people get addicted to stuff. Sometimes people have a chemical imbalance. They have mental illness, whatever.
Whoa. So you're saying people make bad decisions and it has nothing to do with a demon possessing them at all? Is that, Adam, you would know better now since, obviously body of Christ, et cetera, et cetera. Is that possible that like I can make a bad decision and do something that I shouldn't do and I'm not even possessed by a demon?
Well, I think when he does it, it's God's will. I think when everybody else does it, it's just something they have to take responsibility for.
Oh, that makes sense. As Keanu would say, main character syndrome is what this man is suffering from.
But I don't know. What is the here? Let's look it up. What is the sex demon?
I love this because now he's demon shopping.
Yeah,
like,
which
what
demon is the right
demon?
demon for me? Maybe Grok can help. I've done horrible things that everybody knows about. How do I excuse myself? Have you looked into the succubus? I haven't. Thank you.
Have you considered Beetlejuice?
This is gonna go well.
Let's see.
He's gonna find a picture of himself. On
The primary sex demons are the incubus, male form targeting women. Well, that's not me.
Yep.
The succubus, female form targeting
Female
men. These entities were believed to seduce humans in their sleep to engage in sexual acts believed to cause physical deterioration, spiritual torment, or to steal semen to produce demon offspring. Well, guess what? My doctor fixed that part years ago.
Yeah, the only way that he can provide semen is if he spits.
Hey,
Thank you.
So I had
That's why they let you go. You're blowing blank loads.
Bro, I had a succubus, perhaps.
Yeah.
See, because the only other explanation is I was
Tempting me to say it.
I was just a stupid piece of shit.
Ding, 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 ding. There we go.
Interesting. So there is another option besides the succubus. Okay, that's good to know.
The thing is, like, a succubus and an incubus don't really, like, a succubus wouldn't possess a man. A succubus has sex with a man to steal the man's sperm.
Okay.
So it's weird for him to say that he was possessed by a female demon in the first place. That
You can stop right there. It's weird for him to say he was possessed by a female demon. Yes, correct. It's stupid.
Yeah. But
Also entirely possible.
That demon wants to steal the semen of men so that she can make demon babies.
Yeah, you've done some research into this. It seems,
Right.
Moody.
So
You've looked
there's
into this.
like the lore is all over the place, but what I gathered is that the succubus goes and sleeps with men in the night, and steals their semen to give to an incubus that then goes and impregnates a human woman, and then they have a baby.
Okay.
Called something else. Merlin the wizard was his father was an incubus. So it's like it's getting into real deep demon lore. I'm not a demonologist.
So that's what I wanted to ask about this, because I don't really follow is it the New Testament? Is that the Jesus one?
Yes, that's the New Testament.
The New Testament, I don't think talks about demons at all. I don't think even hell is mentioned in the New Testament. Like, this is all shit that like the church made up afterwards, right? Or are they going back to the Old Testament to come up with this shit?
Well, the Catholics are with the New Testament, so they do follow all of
Right.
that. But I don't know where.
That's what I mean. Like,
sex
this is all
demons
like
come
Jesus
into
wasn't
all
talking
of
about like,
this.
watch out, you might get possessed by a demon and stuff. Like, Jesus wasn't saying that. Jesus was all about like help people out and the meek shall inherit
Right, but
the
there's
earth.
there's like Catholic beliefs and all of that. I don't know enough to get into them, but I know that exorcisms might be part of it, and he's saying he just goes to mass in order to exorcise his demons, which is very convenient that like the place that says demons exist says just come to us and we'll get rid of those demons for you.
Demons and hell are in the New Testament. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
Have you guys heard of Huntington's disease?
No.
It's like this degenerative disease that you're born with if you have a gene that was passed on to you, and you find out at a certain age whether you're going to have this disease. And it's like the worst thing you can imagine. You basically just can't stop moving and dancing till the point where you can't feed yourself, and you get thin, and you start to turn into like a real monster. And what's so horrible is that at a young age that this is the life waiting for you, and you watch your mother or somebody else go through this, and it's just, I can't imagine trying to back in the day put a name to what that is, and to this person like coming out of the forest that's emaciated, that can't stop dancing. And there's so many unique things like this. I feel like we put the name demon onto them to try and explain it and try to heal it in these exorcism ways that were really just they're in over their heads.
Right. Yeah. It makes sense. Anything you can't explain, it's like, well, demons are doing that.
And they look like demons. Like when you see
Right.
what happens to them, it's just hard to imagine someone you love turned into this thing without sinning or, going against God or, eating salt on the wrong day.
Yeah. Or like if you go to Burning Man,
Right.
and you're like, what is going on here? Is everyone possessed by demons or?
Well, I wouldn't rule it out, but it's your life. You got.
It could be both. It could be both.
It could be both.
Veldrain with $1 says, did the deacon have more or less charisma than Mark Gormley? Ooh, slightly more.
All right. So that was Monday morning. Now on Monday night, people are talking to him about this sex demon thing. So he doubles down on this. I know it sounds like maybe he was joking around or being silly, but this is him dressed in his finest suit, by the way.
The thing about the suit is he wore that to court, and then he's wearing it in the evening show. Court was at 1:30 p.m. for him. The
Yeah, he even
evening
says
show-
he put the jacket back on. It's like he
right.
could
The
easily
evening
just take
show
off the shirt and
starts
tie.
at like what 7
after,
p.m.
after the DoorDash stuff. Yeah.
Doesn't he have 3 outfit changes a day? Famously, why did he not change his outfit?
He's feeling good, man. He's feeling himself. He's like, oh, I look
Right.
good tonight.
And I found out that apparently if I talk about demonic possession,
By the way, speaking of wearing a suit, Nick Recada's like cease and desist. Did anyone have more wardrobe changes over the weekend than Nick Recada? Every time I saw him, he was wearing a completely different suit.
Megan
Oh, that's
was
true. Yeah.
dressed differently every time I saw her.
Well, she's a girl. She's supposed to do that.
Right.
But no, Nick dressed to the nines all the time. Very impressive.
and I found out that apparently, if I talk about demonic possession, there's a vengeful guy out there who wants to put me in jail for talking about demonic possession. Let me be very clear about something that I think everybody understood. When I was talking about Father Ripperger, I think people don't give me credit for how nuts and weird I actually am. When I was talking about Father Ripperger this morning and demonic possession and the Catholic Church's belief in it, and as I'm looking it up, as I'm listening to Father Ripperger on Tucker's show, I was talking about this on the show this morning, I honestly believe that when I've made my most terrible decisions in my life as an adult, I believe there may have been demonic possession involved because and this is like...
All right. He believes there may have been demonic possession involved in bad decisions. If I thought a demon was forcing me to make decisions in my life, that'd freak me the fuck out. I would just casually talk about it with my audience. Like, yeah, I've been thinking about it. And I guess like I don't have control over my own decision making. It's like a demon just makes those decisions for me. But I drank holy water this past Sunday, so I think I'm good. What?
Well, he's not positive. He doesn't know for sure. Maybe.
I guess you don't drink holy water, right? I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, I don't know
anything about this.
Throughout...
I just go over and just go.
This isn't just like 2 years ago. This is like throughout the last 2 years, until I started going to Mass again. I said this morning. I believe I may have been demonically possessed by... If I was a woman, it would be an incubus, but the Catholic Church believes that men are possessed.
He's always the woman. That's his go-to. I think it was his incubus because I'm a chick.
Like if it was a woman, it would be this, but
yeah.
Always
So which
the
one
first.
would you be, Erin?
By a succubus demon, like a Satan demon, like demon.
If you were possessed by a succubus demon, you would want to go after men.
Right. Which is
It
gay.
would, yeah, right.
Which, by the way, definitely
the
gay.
succubus demon wants come. Like that is canonically.
And in your sleep. He said they come in your sleep.
Yes.
Yeah. They make you like come off of your wife for some reason.
Honestly believe that because all of this stuff, because all of my dark urges and because of all of my bad behavior and, well, not all of my bad behavior, but because I became such a better person once I started going to Mass, they do say that accepting the Eucharist and going to Mass are the two best ways to drive out demons. That's what
They do say that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it must be right if they're saying it.
Are the ones who say that happen to be the ones who do provide Mass and the Eucharist?
Yeah. It's weird. Like the John Deere salesman tells me that the John Deere tractor is the best one on the market. I mean, that's what he says. So.
He doesn't think that maybe it's because he's spending his Sundays doing something productive instead of hanging out in a polycule and fucking all day.
Or maybe he doesn't have the same options he used to have.
Well, there's that. That's when they tend to find.
Right. That's really what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's remember the show that he did at Stoney's back in July. A younger girl was throwing herself at him, and he made out with her. So this guy gives into temptation immediately.
And as far as I know, April's been pretty religious consistently. I think as long as we've known her, right? She's had a relationship with God that she's vocal about, correct?
She grew up religious, went to a
Okay.
church, but she and Erin did not really go to church.
I
when
know
they were
he didn't
together.
express anything until he was going to court. Until he
said
had to talk
was
to a
raised-
judge.
He said he was raised Catholic, but didn't really go to a court until he was hanging out with the Ricators. He didn't really go to court. He would go to court with Nick and Kayla.
You mean church?
Yes, they would go to church. They were spotted in a live stream.
Right.
Eventually, he started to go to church afterwards.
But he
very
just
recently.
said going to Catholic Mass is what cured him. However, it
Yeah.
was back in April of 2024 when he started saying, I've been on the wrong path. Or maybe it was, I guess it was April. I've been on the wrong path. I've been doing the wrong thing. I'm going to change things. I'm not going to do that anymore. It had nothing to do with going to Catholic church at that time. Right? So now he's just revisionist history. Church did this.
Well, he would say things like, God, I found God again. He didn't say much about going to Mass. He just said that he found God and he's religious, and he would read out of his Proverbs book originally that Kayla gave him. And then he would just start reading his favorite Bible verses and stuff. to people in the audience. But this going back to church thing is very recent.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, not all of my bad behavior, but because I became such a better person once I started going to Mass, they do say that accepting the Eucharist and going to Mass are the two best ways to drive out demons. That's what the church teaches. So I was talking about that today.
I think those are the best ways to drive out demons. There's other concoctions you come up with and potions. It's convoluted. You got to find Eye of Newt. It's a whole thing. So this is the best way.
And I was talking about Father Ripperger. And all of a sudden I start getting these messages. People are like, you're going to jail for that. I'm like, demons? Really? So I looked at my probation. It turns out no stipulation about talking about Father Ripperger, the Catholic Church, or demons. I know people get a lot of shit for talking about their faith, but that seemed a little excessive to me. So that was a big nothing burger. And then
Nice straw man argument. Good stuff, Erin. You're winning and keep winning.
I get to court and there's somebody there. I'm not going to say who it was. There's somebody there and they're writing something down. And there's a sentencing hearing going on before ours. And this person writes down on a pad, Nick verbally accosted me outside the courtroom. And I'm like, damn, that's pretty fucked up. And that is an interesting way to start. And then, lawyers going to chambers, all that stuff. Then we start. I'm not going to talk about any of the stuff once we started. All right. We're going to finish this thing up in June. Thank goodness. We're going to finish all this.
All right. Let's get into the HRO stuff.
But it's like, what other demon is gonna possess Erin? We've got 6. Mm-hmm. Are there other forms of demons?
Well, there's the Piggy Master. I assume that's a form of demon, right?
There's gonna be like a butter demon at some point as well.
A butter demon.
I have entered Erin out like smoke through a cracked door, and now I guide his trembling hand to the butter dish. Not for cooking, not for spreading, but for eating.
That's
Prepared
me as the butter demon.
Didn't he have to make them snacks at some point? He made them like Chef Boyardee. What was it? Do we remember? He made them soup.
SpaghettiOs.
Can we find out what brand? So it could be like Ghostbusters, and we'll make like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. We'll make like Chef Boyardee, an evil demon.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah,
And it
SpaghettiOs.
can haunt him.
becomes,
Spaghetti, whoever the
SpaghettiO
logo
demon.
is.
yeah, it's not a terrible idea. All right, I want to get into the Dr. Steve stuff, the HRO stuff. Before I do that, real quick, supertip.gg/WATP, Mr. Nobody coming in. Great way to support the show. We got to hit the goal today, boys.
This show is violating HIPAA and must stop post haste.
That's true. Ricky Bev coming in.
Hello, Father. I'd like to confess my sins. He spoke to me again. I'm possessed by a semen demon. He forces me to consume the seed of men. Help me, Father. I have kids sometimes.
That's interesting. So if he was possessed by a demon who ate Nick's semen, is the demon gay? Is he going to start saying like the demon wanted the cum, or?
Well, didn't you say the demon was a chick?
Right. But he's claiming that it never happened. So is he going to start defending the demon? Like, no, the demon would never do that. The demon would never.
The demon has boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Embarrassing.
My demon was a straight demon, guys.
Jack Sampson coming in.
Of course, Moody knows all about demons. His family left Arabia after tiring of fighting jinns all day long.
Jinns are different, but yes, kind of demons.
All day long.
Literal Moody's my favorite. Gar Saxon coming in. Oh, this is an image. Let me get this off the screen then. Gar Saxon has Aaron's praying to the grave of the goal. Dear Lord and Mr. Jesus, help me spread the good news of the goal to my moron fans, and please bring April back to me. In your name we pray. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching is so
Cha-ching
good.
is an amen. I like that. It's fun. Let's see here. Billy Vegas says, take a drink every time he says Father Ripperger. No, don't do that. It's too early.
Is he a relative of yours, Carl?
He is related. I don't want to talk about it. Way to dox me. Monday's coming in.
I switched to Catholicism because I found the Lord, not because my old church kicked me out for being a creepy weirdo that's obsessed with my ex-wife. Also, my dick is smaller than Dr. Steve's.
I believe that. That sounds right. What not, Chaser?
Jesus himself taught that marriage is permanent. Matthew 19:3, Oz, I 6H. And St. Paul reinforced this teaching. C, 1 Cor 7-10, 11, and F, on trial state 5 to 31 to 32. The church does not recognize a civil divorce. Oops.
He's talked about his divorces in the past because, in the Catholic Church, you need to it's a whole process to get divorced, and he's been married twice. But he claims that his marriages were both pagan marriages, which isn't correct. But he claims they were both pagan marriages, and therefore they were never recognized by the Catholic Church.
Oh, how convenient.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Convenient for him.
He knows for a fact that God has no problem with that and shines a light upon his side piece.
And he was talking about how premarital sex is bad, yet he's with Slam Piece. I assume they're having sex.
Can you imagine you
Aaron's
cut
a
her
sex
off?
guy.
Oh, slam piece. I'm sorry, not side piece. It's even worse.
It's fine. The one pun, justice for Dr. Steve. Yes, the one pun. We'll get into that in just a moment. Herb 28. He hates when the plate is passed at the end of Mass. What's that?
Sugary Coyote in the chat says he also had pagan children that he doesn't recognize.
Very convenient.
Yeah.
He hates when the plate is passed at the end of Mass.
He definitely sticks his hand in and just moves it around and then takes it out.
Akumugan says, at what point will he be committed? That I don't know. Oh, this is interesting. We're getting an update on what's going on with Patrick Melton. George is sending this in to us right now. Poor Patrick's back. Ouch. My back. He's moving a plant.
He looks like Soft Weekly more than he does Patrick.
Was it Labyrinth Mystic or Dang Lizard who traveled the country with Soft?
That's Dang Lizard.
Dang Lizard. Wow. Good on you, Dang Lizard. I don't know if I could have pulled that off. Driving all the way to Detroit.
There's been a few cross-country trips. There was Dang Lizard with Soft. There's David Chandler with Granny, who's traveling from Vegas to Florida to Maine, which is insane.
That's insane.
And I think the one pun traveled with Quadfather from Oregon.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's a long drive. What is going on here for Billy Vegas?
Oh my gosh, it's Chef Boyardee and the demon.
The Chef Boyer Demon. There it is. Wow, he just wished it into the world. And now it's a real thing. Guys, if you go to supertip.gg/WATP, you can send us image chats or image tips. And with the image tips, you can upload your own. There is an AI image generator right within the system. So just give us some prompts and see what happens. You can always use a different AI image creator.
Yeah, you can upload someone's face and say, make this man do X, and it'll do that for you.
Very fun.
Let's start a rally, guys. It's time for the golden shower. Time to lap it up. Yummy, yummy in my tummy.
Yeah, Larry's Guns and Money. There was a golden shower this week during a begging segment. I have that. We might get to it later. Silence Do Good coming in.
I thought I was possessed by a demon after listening to Father Ripperger. It turned out to be a big nothing burger.
I see what you did there. That's fun. It's pretty good. All right, let's get into it. This is from the 14th. So that would be, Tuesday. So after he had the HRO hearing with Nick Rekieta on Monday afternoon, talked about it a little bit on Monday evening show, and then Tuesday morning talked about it some more, and this is where we start to get into Dr. Steve talk. And it's interesting how this escalates throughout the week, so that's why I'm playing it in this specific order.
We didn't post a clip yesterday. We posted some shorts, but we didn't post a clip yesterday. I was very busy. Had court. I won't talk about anything that happened between the gavels because the judge asked that we not talk about them. But I was very happy with how court went yesterday. Finally, we're going to finish this hearing that we started in August, and we were cooking, man. We were kicking ass. Brian's the man. And we're going to finally finish that up.
Okay. He goes, we were cooking. So this is back in August when they had the initial hearing. There was supposed to be Nick and Patrick's, but Nick's took so long that they had to adjourn it. Never got to Patrick. And Erin, the way he remembers this is that they were crushing it. They were cooking. And it's just unfortunate it's taken so long since then. I want to remind everyone. The Steeltoe Boring Show. This is from WATP. This is an image that was up on Steeltoe Boring Show that really summarizes what this hearing was like. There's Erin's attorney in the foreground and Erin in the background, stressed the fuck out. It's one of the greatest images ever captured. And now the way Erin remembers is that we were cooking, we were crushing them.
It was going so well.
My favorite part was when the judge asked Erin if he was concerned for his safety around Nick Rekieta. And Erin's like, I could probably take him. I'm a pretty big guy. I box and stuff. And his attorney's like kicking his foot under the table, like, no. And he's like, Your Honor, can we get 5 minutes?
So then why are we here?
Yeah. And then he comes back after 5 minutes with the attorney. He's like, oh, no, I am afraid of Nick, actually. He might show up in the middle of the night.
If he showed up unannounced and not ready, he can't. Yeah.
Right.
Not
so
so
funny. He's such a boob, this idiot. All right.
The other side has stopped dragging their feet. They've stopped asking for continuances and all this shit. And we finally got them cornered, and now we're gonna move in for the kill.
This is insane. All right. The other side's dragging their feet. So what happened was, I feel like people don't understand what this is. People think this is a lawsuit or something that's going on. Erin took out harassment restraining orders on first Nick Rekieta, and then a week later, Patrick Melton. And these restraining orders, the way they're set up is that those people, Nick and Patrick, can't be within 500 or 1,000 feet of Erin. That's all this is.
The reasons he gave for those, by the way, is that they had showed up unannounced around him.
Yes.
Nick showed up unannounced at Erin's trial, where Nick's wife was the victim.
Yes.
And Patrick showed up also at Erin's trial as part of the stance. Like, it was just normal. Just he was watching a court trial happen.
Right.
He said they showed up unannounced, and the judge would infer from that is that they were following him around. And that's why it was granted.
And remember, in both cases, Erin asked the judge that he stopped them from talking about him.
Yes.
So what he wanted was to shut down their free speech. He didn't want to get clowned anymore. These people are making fun of me. And what's crazy about that is that when Nick had the criminal charges pending, he didn't say boo. He didn't say shit about Erin. Erin was allowed to just go on every show and go on his own show and talk about all this crazy shit about the polycule and just let out every secret they had. And then as soon as Nick was able to talk, Erin's like, we got to shut this down immediately. No more talking.
Erin spent a year divulging every sexual detail that he could. To this day, we wouldn't know that a polycule even existed if it wasn't for Erin. It'd be speculation, sure. People would be bringing it up and making fun of it. Haha, wouldn't it be funny if? But no one would know for certain that it actually happened. Erin's the one who divulged all of that.
So this context is so important for people to understand, is that all of this revolves around Erin being a bitch who can't allow his detractors to have their say and to make fun of him back the way he talked about Nick all that time.
And so he went to court, told them he was afraid for his physical safety and the physical safety of one of his children only when she was staying at his address. Fuck her, I guess, if she's over with her mother's house, at her mother's house. But he said he was afraid for his and his daughter's safety. And then he also, rather than paying the court fees for it, used a fund that is made for people who are like in financial trouble to file the HROs. So he got his fees waived.
So think about this. He files HROs. They're granted to some degree by the court.
Yes.
The court says, listen, we can't tell the guys not to talk about you. But yeah, Nick can't be within 500 feet. Patrick can't be within 500 feet, whatever it was.
It's to err on the side of caution, Carl, because some of the people that need defense from people who are actually harassing them might not be well educated to fill out a form properly. They might have drug dependencies. Like, these might be people who just are incapable of filling out a form properly. So the court still has a duty to protect those people. So they will always err on the side of caution when it comes to granting at least a temporary restraining order. And that's
And
what was
rightfully
granted.
so. And so in a lot of cases, whoever the HRO is taken out against just goes, fine, I won't bother you, you know, or they violate it, whatever. But in this case, because Aaron's had 2 HROs taken out against him,
Yes.
one from his first wife and then one from Kayla Ricada.
Kayla never had an HRO on Aaron.
Who was the other one?
No. It was just so Kayla's one is not an HRO.
Okay.
There was an HRO from his ex-wife against both him and April because they were discussing and laughing about killing her on the show.
Right.
They were plotting her murder on the show, and she's like, I don't want this to happen. And so the judge issued a don't talk about or mention your ex-wife. And then Aaron broke that and he faced a year of probation in jail because of that. Following that, he was found guilty, or he pled guilty to the dissemination of revenge porn against Kayla Ricada. That's not an HRO. She can go and seek out an HRO if she wants.
I thought
but he
did have an HRO. No.
It's not an HRO.
Okay.
It's a court order as part of his probation to not go near her. But she can go and seek out an HRO separately, and it will be granted more or less automatically if she does, to get him to stay away from her and all of that.
So the reason why I bring that up is because Aaron had an HRO against him where he's no longer allowed to talk about his first wife. So he saw that as an opportunity to go, oh, this worked against me. I'll do it against Patrick and Nick, so they can't talk about me.
Also, the second one is de facto an HR. It's kind of an HRO, but he's not allowed to mention Kayla Ricada on his shows.
Right. Okay. The point I'm making, though, the reason why I bring all of this up is because in a lot of cases, you take out an HRO, the other person goes, all right, man, whatever. I'll leave you alone. In this case, in both of these cases with Nick and Patrick, they went, fuck you. We're fighting this. How dare you say that you're afraid for your safety around me? What would lead you to believe that? And so the fact that they're actually bringing in a counter to this and saying, this is bullshit, Your Honor. We want this thrown out. And Erin is acting like, and I swear to God, these fucking idiot law tubers like Sean, who are like, don't understand where this all came from in the first place. Like, oh, it's a big fucking W for Erin. No, he comes off as a bitch.
Right.
This whole thing is pathetic. Aaron's a loser. He's a pussy. The fact that he took this out in the first place and now he's fighting, he's just like, hey guys, I'm winning. What are you winning? The pussy prize?
The other reason to be fighting them as well, Carl, is because these will have a no contact order as part of it. So if, say, Nick is sitting down at a restaurant by himself and Aaron shows up at that restaurant, Nick needs to leave that.
Right.
If Aaron calls up Patrick and that HRO is granted and Patrick picks up the phone and talks to him, even if Aaron was the one who initiated that call, Patrick would be the one who would go to jail. So there are there's ways for someone who's been granted the HRO for protection to fuck with the person that is that's there. So you wouldn't want someone as unhinged and so ready and willing to lie to the courts and weaponize these systems that are set up to protect actual victims to have that tool over you.
Right. So Aaron claims, because he never brings this up, and no one else does either, which is wild to me.
Right.
Aaron is declaring this victory because he's apparently afraid for his safety from a guy who lives in Las Vegas, Nevada.
And you wouldn't be victorious. You wouldn't be doing an end zone dance, as he puts it. You would be relieved if this is granted for you. If you were an actual victim that's like, I'm actually scared, you wouldn't be dancing. You'd be like, oh, thank God that's over.
If there was a stalker, you wouldn't want to mock them openly. You would just want to quietly protect your family.
Mm-hmm. The other thing you wouldn't want to do, Adam, is force your stalker to fly into your state in your hometown and force them to go to court, which is what's happening here with Patrick Melton, which we'll get into.
It was amazing, to see him cause his worst nightmares to come true. Because Patrick, he's like, well, as long as I'm here, I might as well stop by Stoney's.
Right.
I wouldn't before, but
yeah.
In June. And then that's on one of them. On the other one, we did confirm there was some controversy. I'm not going to talk about it specifically. I'll talk about what my attorney and I talked about after it was over. Patrick Melton just blatantly no-showed a court appearance.
Blatantly no-showed a court appearance. All right. Elaborate, please, Erin.
Which doesn't make anybody happy, especially not the judge, I don't think. And he provided a bum doctor's note.
Okay, so went from blatantly no-showed to providing a note from a doctor talking about the fact that he couldn't travel from Las Vegas to Minnesota because of his back problems.
Is there a way to no-show that's not blatant? Like, just
Yeah, the way that Patrick did it is not blatant. He was just like, I can't be there. I can't get on an airplane. My back is fucked.
Maybe if you're like looking through the window. That would technically be a no-show, but
he tried.
Doctor's note is not he couldn't file for a continuance. The judge gave him an opportunity to file for a continuance if he said, I'm not going to engage in any harassing behavior at Hackamania, but he did.
Okay. This is the part that I think a lot of people are also overlooking. I talked about this on Dabbleverse Live yesterday. This is insane to me. So they did ask for a continuance. April 13th was the date for this hearing that Erin and his attorney set up specifically because they knew that both Nick and Patrick would be involved in Hackamania all weekend. So they did this to fuck with them. Like, oh, okay, well then let's have our next hearing on Monday after Hackamania.
if you go back to the show when that was granted in February, Aaron was celebrating on the show.
Yeah, it was a
He's
big
like,
victory.
something great has just happened. I've received the call. I can't say anything. But that's what he was celebrating about.
That's what he was celebrating. The fact that he was going to inconvenience these guys. Remember, this is a restraining order against them. He doesn't want to ever see them again. He doesn't want them near him. 1,000 feet. And yet he's just like, isn't this great? I'm going to fuck with them and make it difficult for them to get to this hearing because they're both going to be in Vegas at an event that weekend.
And there was zero harassment of Aaron during Hackamania.
Correct.
There was talk of him. There's disparaging comments said about
During
Aaron.
one show, by the way.
There was during
Aaron's
one
star
show.
is faded because last year Hackamania we talked about Aaron a lot. This year, no one cared about him.
There was maybe 2 or 3 references to him total on other shows throughout the entire week. Like there was a joke from Pat Dixon. I think 1 or 2 other people would have made a passing joke about Aaron, but he was not the center of attention at all.
Outside of the episode of This Little Piggy we did, outside of that 2-hour block.
Of course. This Little Piggy is about Aaron, yes.
Even This Little Piggy, what was harassing there? Was anyone directed to contact Aaron? Was anyone directed to, there was nothing harassing done during that show. There was a picture of his feet that was shown.
Right.
That might be his best feature. That's a plus.
So Aaron is, he made it so it's very difficult for these guys to come to this hearing. And now he's upset that Patrick didn't come. And he goes, he could have asked for a continuance. He did. Patrick and Nick both asked for a continuance, saying April 13th is not good for us. And the judge sat on it until Friday the 10th, right before the weekend started. The judge came out because, this is so insane. Aaron's pussy attorney goes out and says, all right, if you're going to grant this continuance, Your Honor, then can we also have it so they can't talk shit about my client at Hackamania? We don't want any disparaging remarks is the term that he said.
Aaron's attorney lied to the courts as well. He told the court, we're close to a settlement. We feel like we could do with another settlement conference. We're close. They're at an impasse with Patrick and Nick's side because the only thing Aaron will settle for is if they don't ever mention him again. That is his bottom line. There is no way that the other side is going to agree to that. So for Aaron's lawyer to come in and say, oh yeah, we're almost there, Judge. We've just got one little thing to work out between us. It would help us to do another settlement conference. That's there just to drag their feet. They know that they're not going to reach a settlement. Right,
which is why Aaron's pretending that it's their side that's not moving things along. It's like, no, you brought on this ridiculous HRO that shouldn't exist in reality. There's nothing there. And then you're like, well, let's try to settle behind the scenes. Like, I've heard Nick on his stream go, I'm not moving an inch for this.
Right.
This should have never happened in the first place. Fuck
Patrick
you.
too. He's like, give me my
Yes.
trial. Like, I want this over. I'm not interested in settling. Tell me how I am a danger to you. That has been the position of both of them.
And the most annoying part of this, and I know people hate Nick Rekieta, and so they're team Erin. I know
Right.
Sean from Potentially Criminal is team Erin for this. Erin is a public figure who plays a heel on the internet. He welcomes it. Guys, I'm the bad guy. Come at me. You guys can't fucking do anything. And then these guys make fun of him, and he goes right to the court system and gets a restraining order, something that's created for battered women, and says, like, I don't want them making fun of me anymore. The court goes, well, we can't do that. We have the First Amendment. But we could say that they can't come within 1,000 feet of you. And Erin goes, okay, but can we force Melton to get on the airplane and come to St. Cloud, Minnesota and sit in the same room as me? And they're like, sure. How does that fucking make sense? So he's obviously just harassing these. Erin's harassing them. He's fucking with them.
It is harassment through the court system, which is wild.
I'm sorry. I'm very fired up about this. It's very annoying. It's insane to me that people have lost sight of what this is.
Right.
Like this whole thing is Erin being the biggest bitch on the internet. Say it again.
He did. He ran the shows where psychos were talking about my dick and showing pictures that they've kept of me for 2 years, which is healthy psychologically, I think. And
Patrick could barely move that week. Anyone who went to Hackamania can attest to this. He was sitting at the desk to control the show and stuff so that he could move the least amount as possible. It was really difficult. And even then, that position was painful for him, and I had to take over at certain times. It's not, it was like a really laborious effort to do anything, and to take someone in that amount of pain, force them to get on a plane, especially at his size, just not even a girth joke, but at his height and stuff, it would be really arduous and torturous to go on a plane.
And I didn't complete this thought because I watched Sean talking about this, and I've watched other people talk about this where they're like, well, you've had a back problem for weeks. Why is this just coming out now? They filed for a continuance that should have been granted. Instead, the judge came back with, I've never seen anything like this before. The judge comes back and agrees with Erin's attorney and says, all right, we'll grant you a continuance as long as you don't talk any shit this weekend. It's like, we've sold hundreds of fucking tickets and hundreds of live streams for people who want to watch This Little Piggy. We're going to talk shit. That's the show format. What do you mean we can't talk shit about? There's no First Amendment in this country? What are you talking about, Judge?
Erin's also had 5 continuances that were granted to him. There was a bunch of stuff. He didn't have a lawyer, then his lawyer quit, and then he got another lawyer who needed to continue. He's been granted one after the other. And so it was reasonable to assume that they'd get this one as well. And also Patrick was hoping that he would be getting better. When I showed up on Sunday, he was like, I've been getting some better nights. Some nights are better than others, but hopefully by Wednesday when we start to pack in, it'll be a bit better. And it did not get better. So there was
nobody saw this coming. I mean, I remember I was with you guys when we were looking at this, the judge granting this continuance with the stipulation that we couldn't do This Little Piggy. Like Nick and Patrick couldn't participate in This Little Piggy. It's like, that's insane.
Yeah.
You said it specifically said they can't say disparaging remarks.
Yes. They can't it was worded so vaguely. It was they can't say or encourage or facilitate any disparaging remarks.
But that doesn't rule out praise.
Right. So they could have just sat there and said nice things about him.
This is specifically what his attorney asked for.
Encourage.
If the court is inclined to grant opposing counsel's continuance request, we ask that the court order Mr. Rekieta and Mr. Melton not engage in and or encourage any harassing conduct related to my client during this year's Hackamania event. This includes, but is not limited to, making disparaging comments about my client, as well as not sharing any private documentation without my client's consent.
Thing is, Erin disparages himself all the time. Playing a clip of Erin can be seen as disparaging because he's such a unlikable, horrible person.
He just said in that last clip, to validate all of these things he's doing in ways he's weaponizing the court, that people were talking about his dick. So if they're making disparaging remarks about his dick, court order. If they're praising it, that's fine.
He's made comments about his own dick on his show as well. So if you're reviewing the Steeltoe morning show, it's an avenue he's opened up. multiple times.
Yeah, this is a wild thing. So the court then, and again, this is on the 10th, on Friday, says, however, if one or both respondents, Mr. Cada or Mr. Melton, sign a stipulation agreeing to the specific proposed terms by petitioner related to the upcoming work event, an event that is the source of hours of proposed exhibits to be the subject of this claim, then the court will continue this matter to another in-person settlement conference. So literally they're saying, all right, we'll move the date for you as long as you do exactly what Erin's attorney asked for.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think both would have been fine with no harassing stuff because there was no harassment, but the adding of the disparaging stuff on there is, I think, a little bit. That's what pushed it over the edge.
Do they know that this is the host of the White Power Hour?
Right. Host of the White Power Hour. He talked about how much his wife is a coke whore. He hates his kids. Like, he's done so much stuff out in the open.
That was the other thing. Thank you for reminding me, Moody. When Patrick said he couldn't make it, he was given how much notice?
He was given 2.5 days
Right.
from the time of the court hearing.
He would have to be there.
Yes.
What
So
if
would
he
have
had
been-
a 9 to 5? He couldn't leave. What if he had kids to watch and couldn't get a sitter at the last second? Like, there's so many other valid reasons the court would understand that he can't just get to Minnesota in 2 days for something that he didn't order.
Well, the thing is, it was scheduled from February. However, there's some details in the background. I don't know them, but they couldn't actually apply for this until late March.
Okay.
It's very hard for me to pull details from Patrick about any of it. He doesn't talk to us about it. But they couldn't apply for this until late March. And so they did that as soon as they could. And it was, by all accounts, like, you would think that the judge would be like, okay, yeah, let's continue this. Because it's the first one they've really asked for.
Well, the fact that it's in person in the first place is crazy to me. Like, why do you need to fly in this guy who is this defendant, or why? I guess defendant's not the right word, but so Erin is afraid of Patrick Melton. He's afraid of his physical safety and his daughter's physical safety around him. And he goes, I need you to fly this man into my hometown.
I'm not sure if it's Erin that's asked for it. I know that the judge doesn't want to do Zoom hearings anymore because they can't work out Zoom.
Right.
The small court in Minnesota were like, there's people watching. There's so many people. We can't guarantee no one's going to record it. So because we don't know how to figure out Zoom settings, have these people fly out to here. So if Patrick had flown out, it would have been for a 5-minute hearing that then he would have needed to fly back for. Which is regardless of how you feel about any of the parties, that's very that's an arduous ask.
And so he provided this doctor's note, and my lawyer looked into the doctor's note. It took him 2 minutes, not even. Patrick Melton did not go see a doctor for his back and get an excuse. Dr. Steve wrote him a letter from Hackamania.
This is crazy to be talking about this because you are now talking about someone's medical records that you have been granted access to just because you're in a court case with them.
Also, and we're going to get it. I mean, this is going to escalate throughout the week.
Yeah.
And my blood will start boiling at some point.
Right.
But what Erin is complaining about right here is a nothing. Patrick couldn't make it to the hearing. His back hurts. A doctor said, yeah, he shouldn't be traveling.
A doctor looked at it and said, yes, his back hurts and he's incapable of travel at the moment.
Yeah. A doctor who physically was able to examine him.
And look, that's the bottom line as well. Anyone who turned up to Hackamania can attest to that being true. A doctor adds legitimacy to that, but that's the truth, is that he was in no state to be able to go there.
I'm guessing sitting on an airplane is uncomfortable for Patrick when his back is not hurting.
Right.
It's going to be a very uncomfortable thing for him. He's a big man.
But say, for example, if that had happened with you with Stuttering John, if he had genuinely fallen over and hurt himself and he was asked for a continuance, okay, make fun of him and all of that. But if he's genuinely hurt, he's missing shows, it's like, okay, it's understandable that this is...
Of course.
this is happening.
Maybe Aaron doesn't understand. He thinks because a lot of celebrity doctors are no longer doctors, like Dr. Phil. There's a certain point where like the medical board makes you give up your license when you just diagnose people on TV. But Dr. Phil's not a doctor anymore. He was. Dr. Steve is still a doctor. That sentence made no sense. He's like, they said you got to go get a report from a doctor. So he got an excuse from Dr. Steve. I don't care if it's Dr. Nick. If he's a doctor, it works in a court. That's where it ends. You don't get to say anything.
I also have no idea whether this was like a public filing or not. I know that some filings are done where even if you go to the courts and ask for them, the courts will not give them out. So, for example, in the one where one with the Kayla Ricada one, they did submit nudes, one of Kayla Ricada's nudes, as evidence. Obviously, they're not going to release that to the public. So there is stuff that is sometimes hidden from the public. I don't know if this note is that or not, but if it is, Aaron's divulging details that the public should not be privy to.
Yeah.
And I'll just say real quick, since you brought this up, in my lol suit case, another letter was submitted to the courts today from John's attorney, Bennett Susser. And it is entertaining, to say the least. I believe Lucy will be talking about it once over with Kaylee. Today at 6:30. We'll redirect the audience over there.
How many emojis are in the letter?
Dude, it is hysterical. This guy, I love this guy representing Senator John. Just like, people on the internet are making fun of me now. Do you know that, Your Honor? Like, hey, you didn't know what this was? You fucking idiot. Anyway, I'll like explain it on their program. Do it over there at 6:30. All right, back there.
Mel just didn't want to get his fat ass on a plane, and so he had Dr. Steve write him a letter and saying, "Oh no, his back hurts. My son, he can't come to school today." So that was annoying, but it wasn't just annoying to me, and apparently there's going to be some looking into that, which is good.
What does that mean? Like, does Aaron think that these are all like children? There's going to be some looking into that. Like, he's going to get in trouble for this? Like, there's currently the HRO is active, right? Mm-hmm. So
it's a TRO,
if nothing happens right now, Patrick's not allowed within 500 feet of Aaron, which is what Aaron asked for and what he was granted. Mm-hmm. So what the fuck's the difference if he was at this thing or not? Like, you've gotten your way so far. The thing that Patrick wants is to change that. So I don't understand this victory or this anger that he didn't show up to this thing. It's like, yeah, if he doesn't show up or doesn't do anything, you get your HRO. It's in place now. What the fuck?
He's like when I use ChatGPT sometimes to solve something electronic. Like I'm trying to route audio to here. How do I do that? And like an hour later, you're downloading new software and you're like, wait. Remember what we were trying to do? We were just trying to route audio. Right. Now we are so far down the line. I thought this was about protecting your children because they're scared. Right. They're scared that Patrick is going to come haunt them or make fun of them or whatever it is. And now you're inviting him to Minnesota.
I've been friends with Patrick for like 3 years. I've hung out with him a bunch of times now over that time period. And I can tell you one thing we all know about Patrick Melton: violent guy.
Very physically aggressive.
Absolutely a violent man. Just watch out for this guy.
Yeah, you should watch him devour a cheesecake. As far as what's happened is Patrick was in the room and managed to see Aaron get handcuffed and taken out to jail.
Yep.
Aaron's not going to be happy until the reverse happens. He's a vengeful guy, and he wants vengeance. That's what all of this is about.
That's what all of this is about.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy until Erin and Nick are both in handcuffs and have to go to jail, preferably in front of him.
And what's crazy is the court is going along with Erin on this. So far.
Well, they've given him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Largely, like the large benefit of the doubt the whole time. As a court should for a victim, but the fact that this has gone so long is insane.
But listen, I don't use this word lightly. Aaron's a faggot. This is gay ops. This is faggotry. It's wild. And the way he says all this with a straight face, and similar to like asking for money without asking for money. The way he's describing this without explaining what it actually is. Never once is he describing what it actually is and says just like, yeah, the court's not happy. We got an excuse that Patrick's back hurt from a doctor and I don't know.
Yeah, this is Stuttering John saying the court's going to hear about this and they're going to say, not cool.
Right. Yeah. Wait till they find out that Pocky's a racist. You're like, well, that has nothing to do with whether you called him a pedophile or not, idiots.
And he's supposed to be protecting his kids, and he's reduced to like running to the IRS with a recording of you and Melton at dinner saying like, see, they didn't talk business. They can't write this off. Another win for the toe.
It's going to get worse.
The thing that did take place yesterday, it's scheduled for June, which is nice. I'm so glad that it's finally getting done.
So Nick and his wife had to get on like a red eye and fly out of Vegas in order to make it within like 30 minutes. Like they had a very short window of time to fly into Minneapolis and then drive to St. Cloud to be at this thing, just so they can schedule the actual court date, which is going to be in June, which is a year out from when he filed his HRO. Mm-hmm. So this is all just a waste of fucking time. Here's just wasting people's time.
Yes.
Cool. Good stuff.
And it did cause the other party, it did cause Nick to have a crash out at my lawyer. Now, apparently he verbally accosted a woman outside the courtroom by their own claims. Then after...
The woman he's talking about here is Mama K, a timid tiger on Twitter. This is a lady that's turned up to almost every hearing that Nick has had. She's watched his body cam footage. She is there at every opportunity. It sounds like she's had a sad life and has had trauma in her past and sees what Nick's going through as part of that, whatever. But she has done more to Nick than Patrick has ever done to Erin.
I was just going to say, if the roles were reversed,
right,
Erin would take out an HRO against this woman.
Yeah. Yes.
The hearing was over after the gavel, and we're off the record now. You guys are good to go. Nick can't control himself. I don't know if this is a brain thing. I don't know if this is a history thing. I don't know if it's a degradation thing. I'm not sure. But he goes up behind my lawyer. He comes up behind him and he goes, Mr. Johnson, you should research the statute on harassment and maybe take some CLEs on it. So he's pissed about the CLEs, which, by the way, is not Brian Johnson's fault. Brian Johnson isn't the one who told him he can't be a lawyer anymore because of his CLEs. That's not, Brian Johnson had nothing to, I don't know if he thinks there's a grand conspiracy where Brian Johnson's on some board, but he came up behind Brian.
Who is this for? Just Kiwi Farms? This portion of the show is for?
He's trying to own Nick and show that Nick, and like Nick flies off the handle and stuff. I'm not co-signing anything Nick's done.
no shit.
For those who don't know, CLE is continued legal education. Every lawyer, every year or amount of time, needs to do a certain amount of training to stay a lawyer. It's the reason why Nick is not a lawyer right now. It's because he hasn't done his CLEs. So he was telling Brian, who was Erin's lawyer, because he can't talk to Erin. So he was telling Erin's lawyer, you need to do CLEs or you need to do some training and read up on the statutes for harassment, because no harassment has occurred against Erin so far. And this whole case is hinging on these guys have been harassing Erin.
Well, I think if he submitted your chart, your graph that you produced in Hackamania, they would see exactly how his feelings are being terrorized and hijacked.
Steeltoe.lol/emotions if you want to dig into that.
He's doing a killer job, by the way. And he goes, you should read the statute on harassment and maybe take a CLE on it. And Brian's just like, this punk. And he goes, I'm sorry. And by the way, the judge is standing right there, and the judge is going, what is he doing? And so Brian, knowing what he's doing, he goes, I'm sorry, what was that? And Nick comes up behind him. He goes, I said you should research the statute on harassment. My lawyer goes, I know, I'm kidding. I heard you. He wanted him to do it again so that the judge would see again, like, the behavior that he's engaging in. And oh boy, did he. And it's just, I mean, the inability to control oneself in a setting like that is, I mean, it's remarkable.
I mean, all of this is neither here nor there when it comes to this case, but it's all like very similar to Stuttering John. You know, in the court of public opinions, they're going to say that Nick Rekieta is crazy. Like, yeah, but that has nothing to do with whether he's harassing you or not. You know,
yeah, this lady also, when there was a recess, made sure she said that these are her words. She made sure she was within earshot of the judge, and was talking loudly to Erin and his lawyer about how Nick accosted her outside beforehand. So it's like there's all of these weird things going on. Nick certainly isn't helping himself here.
Right.
But I mean, it's not illegal to be a douchebag.
So that's Tuesday. Tuesday morning, Erin comes on and goes, yeah, judge wasn't happy. There's this note from a doctor. Apparently Patrick couldn't get on an airplane because it was back. What a pussy. Whatever. This is going to get worse and worse. And we're going to get into Wednesday and Thursday. But first, supertip.gg/WATP is where you can go to support this show like Mark Davis is doing. Erin's sex demon should be named Swallow. I don't hate it. Here's another image that's coming in from Manx Lugtan.
Yeah, that's
exactly the image that we were just showing. Erin's freaking out. Everything's good. It's all good. Well done with that. John Sweatbrain coming in.
What about Nick and Pat's attorney? If this was filed end of Feb, why was continuance filed end of March? This guy seems to be a boob. How did he let this drag on for so long?
We've said it before. There's stuff happening behind the scenes that didn't allow them to file until end of March. I don't know what that is. I don't have those details.
Misfit coming in.
I witnessed Melton do several somersaults backstage at Hackamania. Lock him up.
Oh shit! It's all a lie.
There was a costume contest, so you may have seen the other Melton do that.
Pooh's Channel 666 weighing in.
Your Honor, I really feel we're about to reach a settlement. We just need Mr. Rakita and Mr. Melton to not make fun of me for one more weekend. Please make them stop.
In this court's opinion, you sound like a loser. And I sentence you to life not eating splooge. No. You have to have your kids weekdays and no playing of Erica.
No. Oh, hamburgers.
It's very funny.
Something I forgot as well. Erin actually, the day before his trial, said Patrick is welcome to come to the trial. He was talking to his audience. There's a clip. We did play it on the show of him saying, oh yeah, if Patrick wants to come, that's none of my business. He can come.
Yeah. He wants to be tough guy Erin when he's on his show. And then in court, he's just like, I'm afraid of these guys.
Yeah, he can come. I can eat it. It's all good.
Rerun the Wizard, member for 10 months. Adam Wang Chung or Oingo Boingo?
Oingo Boingo.
Yeah, Oingo Boingo all day, for sure. Herbert and Gerber says, Nick Rakita is not a good guy. He's the same as Erin. Well,
I think from
he's not
the
a good guy.
terms of
I agree with you there.
Yeah, the terms of like vengeance and pettiness, I think they are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
These two are going to go at it forever. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mostrote says, Moody, be honest. Melty getting his hunch removed.
Mm-hmm. I can't.
Is there hunch removal surgery in the States? I'm not sure.
I bet there is.
Maybe in Transylvania, but.
Yeah, no, in America, we learn to love our hump.
No. He's going to the other Mayo Clinic.
MMC 1730, $5 says, what was this pussy system prize I heard Carl mention? How do I enter the contest? And does it involve Lucy? Everything with pussy involves Lucy. We know that. Stuttering Vic says, you're leaving out the part Nick and Patrick's attorney agreed to the April 13th hearing. They handed Toe a win. Moody?
I don't know anything about,
I don't know
about that
either. You could be right.
Yeah, maybe.
Reverend Mystic, my man. Met him in Las Vegas. Just tuning in. Nick made it on time. For Pat, could they argue you could put on a show, so why couldn't you travel or something along those lines? Well, that's what Erin's been saying all week. He's like, I saw him sitting and doing a show. It's like, well, getting on an airplane is very fucking different, you idiots.
I also think it would be, can he prove that there were extenuating circumstances causing stress leading to this? He would be able to say, yes, I was the sole person putting on a show. And I got to be honest with you, even at the last Hackamania, Patrick is pretty stationary. He's a stationary guy.
Yeah, he's got responsibilities. He gets it done.
There are also doctors and nurses in that audience that could have tended to Patrick and gave him advice throughout the time to limit pain and stuff. So he wouldn't have that on the plane.
And we were in a room that was almost wheelchair accessible. So that's something.
M9 says, calling Erin's dog whistling gay ops is an insult to the LGBTQ plus community. These antics should be called shit ops. All right. I agree with you on that.
The scat community is not going to be happy with that.
Every time somebody's filed a report for being stalked and the police haven't taken it seriously and that person has been harmed in some way for real, we have Erin to thank for fucking up the system and causing people to not believe this.
Yeah, it's like insurance fraud. You're like, well, my premiums are fucking high. You're like, yeah, but I mean millions of dollars. Like, oh, God, cool. Good for you, asshole. Cardiff Electric is here. Are you going to play the game I made this time? He did make a Tapoca Dabbler for WTP tomorrow, but I don't know about a game for this. Sir Persing Thrillington says, just wanted to thank you all for the great content. Well, thank you very much for the $2 and for letting us know that you enjoy it. All right, let's get into Wednesday morning. So Aaron's had time to think about this. He's had people reaching out to him about what a horrible monster Dr. Steve is. And so Aaron's got some new things to complain about on the show, and he's losing the thread on this one.
I know there's a lot of people who think that...
real quick, Labyrinth Mystic. This fucking guy, I gave him a big hug when I met him in Vegas. He just gifted 5 Who Are These Podcasts? A membership. Thank you for doing that, Labyrinth Mystic. You're the man. You've been producing this channel for a while now. And people, if you got a gifted membership, just go to the posts tab on here. You'll find all of the bonus shows that we do. We'll have another bonus show coming up on Tuesday this week coming up. You can watch it live or watch it anytime thereafter. It'll stay up there for you.
Melton no showing that court thing is bullshit. And yeah, there were issues raised in court by everyone that, it's kind of convenient, the timing, the doctor's note and everything else. But I see people online, and I just want to make this announcement because I want to let it be known that this didn't come from me. And we're in the middle of this HRO thing, and I don't want anything looking like it's coming from my camp. There are people out there saying that they're like, oh, look, we're filing these complaints about Dr. Steve because Dr. Steve, it's bullshit. He just went to Hackamania. Melton was sitting there the whole time. He can sit his ass on a plane and get to court. And we've made that argument, and the judges heard that argument, all that stuff. But there's people going, we're going to file these complaints. Don't do that.
This is a dog whistle right here. This is bullshit.
If you have any sort of following online, and you know that if you tell people to not do something, you're saying, hey, don't do that. Don't.
A lot of people are talking about filing complaints. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I hear a lot of people, and he brings this up over and over again throughout the week, which proves this is what Erin wants. He's trying to punish Dr. Steve. And again, I have to keep putting this in context. People might be tuning in right now. If Patrick Melton never shows up to anything in court, Erin wins. Patrick is trying to fight this HRO that was granted by the court. So what the fuck is Erin's problem? He's just trying to inconvenience this guy. And so he's just like, I want him to be in pain on an airplane for 5 hours. And he didn't. So I'm pissed about that. Yeah. Erin, if Patrick never shows up in Minnesota, you win. Your HRO has been granted and it continues. What the fuck are you complaining about? Why would you want to ruin Dr. Steve's life over this? How does this help you in any way? This is insane. This is lol-cow behavior.
It's vengeance that's breaking out. So it's not only directed at Patrick, it's anyone who was remotely associated with him or aiding him in any sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
I think his daughter's been very vocal about Dr. Steve making her uncomfortable.
This is out of control. Aaron's lost the thread. He's lost the plot on this.
His daughter wrote him a letter. It might it might be good. I'll pull up that clip of him reading the letter again. Reading the letter from his daughter.
Oh yeah,
played it at the end of the show. His daughter wanted him to stay offline back in August of not last year but the year before. It's like, Dad,
not good for him.
It makes you sad. Please stay off the computer. Please stay off the internet.
I believe it because we hear it from whenever we hear from the kids of a locale, this is what they say. They all say the same thing because it's right.
Don't do that. People are looking into his practice and shit like that. I'm not okay with that. I don't
see. He has to elaborate on this. People are looking into his practice and things. Let's see if he can bring us some government agencies while he's at it.
Look. My take is just this. It's awfully convenient that he was there for the shows. And look, People do this when they have friends who are doctors. They have them write them bullshit notes. They're not illegal. They're not against the law. They're just bullshit notes that we all know are bullshit, but it's just enough to get you out of something. All right? And that's all we raised. We just raised that it looked shitty. It looked bad. The judge went over the timing of it and like, yeah, this timing looks a little...
The judge is the one who waited until Friday to say, I'm going to suspend your freedom of speech, your First Amendment right for this weekend if you want to change the date on this. And now we're pretending that the judge is like, geez, kind of convenient that he comes back after I ruled on this on Friday. That's when he would come back with that. What do you mean? I don't understand what the point is on any of this.
He's trying to discredit Dr. Steve and any of his medical opinions to try to say that Patrick wasn't actually hurt because he didn't get a real doctor to look at it. But it's, I don't know.
Suspicious. And, he's going to have to answer for that.
Suspicious. Again, this hearing was to try to figure out if there's a settlement they can make before it goes to the trial. And there isn't. It's very blatant. I don't know why the court keeps trying to book these, because both Nick and Patrick have said there will be no settlement. I'm not looking to get my rights taken away when I've done nothing wrong. Erin's trying to take my rights away. I'm not looking for that. So there is no settlement. So the fact that Erin's just like, wow, the judge is very upset. The courts are very upset that Patrick didn't show up to this. Who gives a fuck? Patrick could never talk to the court in St. Cloud ever again, never step foot in Minnesota again, which, by the way, it's easy to do. I've never been to Minnesota. I likely never will be. It's not a place people go to. Who gives a shit?
Dr. Steve did what probably every doctor does for their friends, all right? There are a lot of doctors out there that write bullshit doctor notes for their friends. I've never done it. I've never had a doctor do it for me, but I'm sure they would. So, yeah, we're not Nobody Likes Onions. We're not the Dabbleverse here. We don't go in and with people's lives no matter how shitty they've been with us.
You keep bringing it up, though.
Better than them. We're better than that. Don't do that. And definitely don't do it on my account because I'm not down with that shit.
Okay, guys, let's not ruin Dr. Steve's life. And if you do, don't bring my name into it, okay? What?
I'm not saying people should look into his military service and the time he spent in the Viet Cong, but I'm saying if they did, they might find something very interesting. Not on my watch.
But I'm not telling you to do that. What an asshole.
I just, look, a doctor writing scripts or I don't know if he's writing scripts or not, but writing pain scripts and writing doctor's notes and shit and flubbing.
Writing prescriptions for pain meds? This is where he jumped to just now? Now he's saying Dr. Steve is handing out morphine at Hackamania? That was a pretty big leap right there. Erin,
he's making a lot of claims here.
Yeah. It's like he's trying to get Dr. Steve in trouble or something.
He's handing out pills. He's performing abortions. He's just unstoppable.
Right.
A little bit for your pal. I don't think that's something we should try and make a federal case out of, okay?
Well, yeah, no shit.
That's all.
It comes back to could Patrick go to that hearing in his condition? No, he couldn't. Right. Does it matter what was where the doctors what the status of the doctor is? Does it matter if any prescriptions were written? No, the truth is he couldn't travel.
He couldn't travel. And Adam, to your point earlier, where you're like, well, what if he had an obligation with his kids? Or what if he got the flu? What if he had COVID? Supposed to get on a fucking airplane. What's the difference? He couldn't make it. He didn't make it. What's the fucking difference? Why does this change anything in Erin's life?
What if he's right and he proves that Patrick legally got a note from a doctor that he wasn't properly then what? What have you proven? Where are we? Are you closer to your goal? Is that a win?
Right. What does that do in this HRO hearing? Because this isn't about Patrick's the guy should go to jail. This isn't a criminal.
Yeah, how much safer are your children now that you've proven he cheats on his taxes?
Right. Who gives a shit? He was counting cards at the blackjack table. It was only a 2-deck blackjack table. Yeah, okay. What? Who cares?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to address that because I saw a couple things on Twitter today. I got a couple emails today, And I just want it in the public out there that I'm not asking for anything like that. Do not do that.
Wow, you keep saying it over and over again, though. Interesting.
This is that is a very common thing. That is being dealt with in a courtroom. We're not going to deal with that on the internet like a bunch of weirdos. Okay? There is no reason to be doing that. That's what they do. That's not what we do. Thank you very much. That being said, he is not a back doctor. He is a, change diapers of people who are not long for this world doctor. Says, Erin, are you going to...
Wow. Taking shots at Dr. Steve is not a smart move. And the fact that Dr. Steve is in hospice is because he's a saint. It's not a fun job. Most doctors do not go into that line of work.
Right.
And Dr. Steve has had his own back problems. He knows more about medicine, practicing medicine, than most doctors. He's hosted a show about it for years. Longest running show on Sirius XM, Weird Medicine. And the fact that Erin goes, what does this guy even know about anything outside of hospice care? A shit ton! Listen to any of his shows. Any caller that calls in, he fucking knows about it. He's on top of this shit. What a piece of shit Erin is.
Congratulate your former friend is 1 year.
All right. So that was Wednesday. Let's fast forward to Thursday.
Oh, Wednesday evening. I have one thing that he also did on Twitter.
Okay. I'll pull it up for you, Money.
This is his tweet that he released, which is an extension of just what we saw before, of him basically saying people have been sending him DMs and emails, and he wants to be very clear to not report Dr. Steve, not do anything to Dr. Steve. This is
keeps repeating it over and over again.
It's a classic dog whistle. He wants as many people to be aware of what's happening in the situation there. And of course, people are not happy, especially Cardiff, which is...
Yeah, we invited Cardiff on the show. He couldn't make it. I know he's not normally an Erin guy, but I thought since he's going after Dr. Steve, he might want to get involved.
But this is pure dog whistling. It's telling by telling not to.
Yeah. Erin is a garbage human. It's never been more clear.
When I saw him put that tweet out, that's when it really crossed the line for me, to trying to impact people who have nothing but trying to do good in the world.
Yep.
Like I just really hate that he's doing this.
And again, it's the most petty thing ever. It's not even, Dr. Steve did nothing to Erin. Absolutely nothing. Like, John wanted his life destroyed because Dr. Steve wore a shirt that said Dabblers Anonymous to a WTP live event in Nashville. I hate to say it. John had more of a case for being mad at Steve than Erin does here.
Yeah.
Steve didn't do anything to you, Erin. None of this matters in your life at all.
Would any other doctor have written that same note? The answer is yes, absolutely. Like,
yes. Patrick can barely move. He's
and
in
the arrogance that
excruciating pain.
If this was like IRS or insurance fraud, the arrogance that doctors would go meet with him and be like, so you're writing, we want to see what you wrote. We want to see the patient. And they would determine what Steve had to say and be like, yeah, we're with the toe on this one.
Right.
We don't accept your diagnosis on this man. And we're glad he pointed it out.
Jesus Christ.
If assuming the worst and saying that everything that Erin is saying here is true, that Dr. Steve's medical license should be taken away and all of that, if it had been another doctor, would he have the same stipulations here?
Right.
Like, because another doctor would absolutely have said the same thing.
Of course.
It's just because Dr. Steve participates in these things and has said hurtful things against Erin by making these jokes, or at least helping Erin's perceived enemies. That
it's
Erin
well
wants.
documented. I mean, you go back to the end of March, Patrick going on a show and going, guys, I fucked up my back bad. I'm in rough shape. And he hasn't been broadcasting. He's been pretty much radio silent up until Hackamania. He came on this little piggy last weekend. But even then, I was like texting him earlier in the day, like, can you do this little piggy? And he's like, I might have to bow out early. Everyone knows he's been in a lot of pain. And like you were saying earlier, Moody, just to reiterate for people who are joining us, Patrick didn't think he was going to be in this much pain 2 weeks later. He was hoping he'd be better. So
I first arrived on Sunday before Hackamania, and he was like, maybe I'll be better in the next 2 or 3 days.
Right.
To the point of being not in pain during Hackamania. That obviously didn't happen, but he was hopeful that he might be getting better at that stage.
Okay. Fast forward to Thursday. So this just keeps snowballing and escalating. And Erin is just like, oh, yeah, everyone's on my side. Let's get Dr. Steve.
Now, hold on. Is he being serious? If Clippers United is being serious here, I think we should accept him and welcome with open arms. $1 from Clippers United, who has been a Melton ball washer, a Carl ball, and everybody ball washer. And I told him, I go, you're going to find out. They're the weird ones. I've been the most normal guy the whole time, and they've been lying to you. Clippers United with $1 says,
You were possessed by a sex demon.
We're the weird ones. Thank you, Adam, putting that in perspective. I like that Erin goes, we're the ones lying to you. All we do is play the clip. We just show you exactly what Erin says and analyze it. Erin's the one who just makes shit up.
You were right all along. I apologize to you. They're shitheads. Wow. The final win for the toe. Another Clippers United has hit the towers. Another Clippers United has hit the towers. He's out. Clippers United is out. He apologizes to the toe. Another win for the toe. Clippers United, thank you. You are dismissed. Go in peace, sir.
Could you imagine a guy who doesn't like you sends you $1 with a sarcastic comment and you're hitting applause buttons? You're like, I win again. I'm victorious. Like, holy shit. You don't know what sarcasm is? That's insane.
It's so easy to flip flop him. There's Chad Boozmark has been on the outs, then he's in again, and then he's out. He's just whoever's around can really mess with him.
Yeah, you could play Erin very easily.
I keep telling all these people, and there's a lot of people now who are starting to go, look, I don't think Erin's a great guy, but I got lied to. These people are retarded, especially after our hearing on Monday. I've lost a lot of faith in internet lawyers and internet doctors since this whole thing. Apparently, Dr. Steve is shitting his pants over this note he wrote from Melton. I guess Kiwi Farms got a hold of info, and now they know there's this guy who just researched his people, and he's got I got 9 emails on this yesterday, and they've what's called phone booked. They've phone booked Dr. Steve. And I don't know why he did this. I don't know why he wrote this bogus note. I don't know why he doesn't. The problem is he's not licensed to practice medicine in Nevada. We're finding out all this stuff. So we've been doing research into.
He's using
now he's on
properly.
with Kiwi Farms.
Yeah.
And they're all together. They want to dox Dr. Steve and ruin his life. All because, and what he called a bogus note, all because Dr. Steve's like, yeah, Patrick can't travel to Minnesota on Monday. His back is fucked.
Dr. Steve, because the judge asked us to gather all the information we have and bring it to the court.
The judge asked you to dox Dr. Steve and take away his medical license. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense in a HRO hearing.
Hey, Aaron, come here. It's the judge. Yeah, find out everything you can about this guy. Bring it to us.
Who does he think he's talking to? The dumbest people in the world, right?
It's also nice that he says he hasn't been to Kiwi Farm since 2024.
Yeah. And then he's like, wow, Kiwi Farm's got this all figured out. They're doxing him.
Everyone in the courtroom said, this seems suspicious.
Everyone in the courtroom. They went around, each one of them was like, this is suspicious. This is suspicious. This is suspicious. Again, who gives a fuck? Patrick said I can't be there and he didn't show up. It's a long flight for a fucking hearing.
For a very large man.
Right. Even if Patrick was in perfect health, I can also see him just being like, I'm not going to this. What's the point? He's not the one who brought this complaint. He's not the one who issued a problem. Erin is. So then Erin's like, well, I'm making a problem for Patrick, and now I can't believe Patrick wouldn't fly from Vegas to St. Cloud, Minnesota. You can't? Why would he?
The timing of this note seems suspicious. Only after their continuance is denied, only after, the judge said, only after we gave them stipulations to abide by, does he, claim he can't sit down, yet he's sitting down for hours.
That isn't a suspicious timing. It's like,
No, it's logical.
You think that the judge will probably say yes to the continuance, at which point, why would you even bother saying, by the way, judge, I'm really sore right now?
Right. Why is the timing suspicious? The thing that's suspicious in my book is the judge waiting until Friday the 10th
Right.
to say, all right, we can move this, but don't be mean to Erin over the weekend. Don't say anything that will make him sad.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Does he, claim he can't sit down, yet he's sitting down for hours doing these shows? And then this doctor's note shows up from an address that's a FedEx store.
Doing these shows. I guess he was at NLO, which was an hour and a half, and this little Piggy, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long is the flight from Vegas to St. Cloud? Is it longer than an hour and a half?
It's about 5 hours of flying.
Yeah. Okay.
And then driving from Minneapolis to St. Cloud.
Yeah, it's wildly inconvenient, and if you had a serious back problem, it would suck.
You can't do like a judge can compel you to go somewhere. That's fine, but this would be sort of like compelling someone to be in physical pain for upwards of like 12 hours return trip.
This feels like a divorce hearing. There's so much passion and so much.
Right.
Your Honor, he's lying. He can totally stand. And he was working all day with his friends, but suddenly when it comes to his kids, he has no energy. Make him come here in front of me. Like, it's all so personal. If I were the judge, I'd be like, it sounds like you still love him, and maybe you two should go work this out.
And look, that's why if he would have said this on Monday evening after the thing and be like, yeah, there's like this note from Dr. Steve. I don't know. That's weird. How he could show up. This is why I'm presenting it this way. It was Monday night. It was Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday. He's hammering this all week. Between this and Keno Casino versus the quartering, it's the only thing Erin cares about.
Right. My back doesn't hurt, but it hurts after being on a plane for a few hours.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being in like having back pain and getting on a plane after with that. That would be horrible.
Or a UPS store or whatever it is. And it seems very strange.
Is that suspicious on a letterhead to have an address that goes to a PO box?
No, it's neither here nor there. Aaron's
How
trying
is
to
that
connect dots.
suspicious?
He's trying to
If you want to
connect
get a
these
hold
dots.
of me.
It's so stupid.
So we look into it, and it's Dr. Steve, who is a hospice doctor, not a spine doctor, not a back doctor. He's a hospice. He basically makes old people feel comfortable and put slippers on them. I don't know if he might die. He might, write him a script for what's the morphine or some shit. I don't know.
So it sounds like,
and
it sounds like Erin was aware that it was Dr. Steve, and he knows that Dr. Steve is a real doctor.
Correct.
Yet he allowed his lawyer to go in and say, this is not a real doctor.
Right. Bogus.
He's saying it's
note.
a bogus doctor without a real address. So who's lying to the courts here? Erin's aware of Dr. Steve's status, and he's allowed. It's wild. It's so he's doing whatever he can to hurt anyone.
Going to medical school, you don't just go, okay, what do you want to do when you're a doctor? I just want to prescribe morphine. All right, well then just take these classes. That's all you need to know. Going to medical school means learning everything there is to know about medicine. And for Erin to sit there and just be like, and this guy, what would he know about back problems? A lot. Dr. Steve knows a shit ton about back problems.
Right. And
suffered from them.
He's saying that Dr. Steve is rattled and that sort of thing. He's referencing the clip of someone asking him on Rocco's show.
Right.
And Dr. Steve was a bit cagey about the response. That's because Dr. Steve is covered by HIPAA and can't reveal any information about that. He can't even confirm that that note was written for Patrick and that he wrote it.
A doctor showing caution in his speech is having him on the ropes.
Right.
Imagine that.
He can't say any of that. We
All
are
right,
saying
you got me, Erin. He also has syphilis. All right, I did a full examination. God damn it. Now
Right,
it's out
so-
there.
Are your kids safe now?
you're going to pull no information out of Dr. Steve about this. And if you want to call that cagey replies, so be it. But like he can't, as a doctor, say any of that. Even if he wasn't the one that wrote the note, he can't say, I didn't write that note.
I don't have any proof. People are saying that he wrote scripts for Melton.
So now Aaron's going down this road. He's like, let's get him in trouble for other things. This is such a stuttering John thing to do. And I'm actually shocked Aaron did this. This is where my blood started boiling. Where now Aaron's like, because he feels slighted, which again is insane. Who cares if Patrick comes to this hearing or not? You have your HRO. It's all active. Who gives a fuck? Doesn't affect your life in any way. But because he feels slighted by this, he's like, can we get Dr. Steve in trouble for other things?
It's like he's shopping for demons again.
yeah. What can we get him with? Is he writing prescriptions for people when he shouldn't be?
And I don't have any proof. People are saying that he wrote scripts for Melton.
People are saying.
Yeah. I don't have any proof. People are saying.
This guy claims to be like one of the best morning shows and knows how to be a broadcaster and journalist. And he starts his sentence with people are saying. Wow.
In Las Vegas. I don't have any, I don't know that. I have no idea if people.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing out this thing that Dr. Steve should be, his medical license should be taken away. I don't know if it's true or not. People are saying it. I heard it somewhere. A DM came through. Neat. Good stuff, Aaron. Scumbag. He's a piece of shit, this asshole.
People who were there say he did, then, that's an eyewitness thing, as reliable as that is.
Does Aaron feel good about this? Does he think this is a W for him?
Every time he frees it, he's really tense and he looks like he's really looking down the barrel of a gun.
Like, what is he trying to accomplish? I'd love to know what he thinks he's trying to accomplish here. Someone messaged me and they said, Aaron's money's drying up. He's not making the goal anymore. He's having a hard time. So he's trying to create this controversy, get people watching him. And whether they're hate watching or whatever, as long as people can send him insults through Rumble rants, he'll make money on that. This is going to backfire. What happens when people go after Dr. Steve is the money usually dries up. People go, fuck you. I don't see this working out well for him.
But he's been shitting his pants. And I didn't know this guy knew so little about his profession. He was panicking about people being like, you shouldn't have written that note for Melton. What were you thinking? Why are you like a 70-year-old man trying to impress weird gay podcast manlets? I don't understand this. And Dr. Steve, the best he could do is, well, doesn't that break HIPAA? No, you fucking retard. It's like, how do these guys do this for a living? And this would be like me doing radio and not knowing FCC rules. I mean, to think that you don't know that HIPAA applies to doctors and insurance companies.
And he's a doctor. So it would apply to him, yes.
Also, it would be like you doing radio and not knowing what revenge porn laws were.
Right. Good point.
And sometimes employers, not even all the time employers, private citizens can say whatever they want about anybody's medical records if they know them. Private citizens are not subject to HIPAA. That is a medical profession, health insurance, at least in the state of Minnesota. Maybe there are gayer states out there, but I'm pretty sure whatever rules we have are the gayest rules they are.
What about
if
the judge said, don't talk about this case or things that are submitted for it outside of the courts? What if the judge said, don't do that?
Right.
Months ago. You may not remember, but months ago, the judge might say, whatever happens in the court, you guys can't discuss it.
Well, Aaron even said, he goes, I can discuss anything that happened between the whistles, he called it.
Right.
So he claims that whatever happens before and after he's allowed to talk about, wouldn't this note
and his objection to it,
the hearing?
Right. And his objection to it would also be between the whistles.
Right.
A tailspin panic over this thing. And it's like, everybody knows if you're a doctor, you don't write goofy scripts. You don't write notes for things you can't vouch for. And you certainly don't practice or claim you're practicing medicine in a state you don't have a fucking license in. That's insane.
Erin wants Dr. Steve's job.
Yes.
That's the only way to interpret what he just said.
Correct.
He wants Dr. Steve to lose his job.
Yes.
In the end, isn't that always what this has been about? Protecting Minnesota from doctors practicing with a license? I don't know.
What a fucking piece of shit Erin Imhold is. And I've never said this before. I've never gotten angry with Erin. I've always thought it was funny to laugh at him and make fun of him trying to get the goal and being pathetic. He turned the corner this week. He is a garbage human.
Yeah.
This is despicable. I should have more fun with this, but I'm having a hard time.
Who gives a shit if the 500-pound hunchback likes you? Such a weird thing. And now people are talking about reporting him to the... I got emails yesterday. We're reporting him to the DEA. We're reporting him to the medical board. And we're...
Remember, he's brought this up multiple times on multiple shows now. Like, he's not even good at dog whistling. It's like, yeah, no, we get it. DEA, yeah, let's get Drug Enforcement Agency. Let's get federal agencies in on this Dr. Steve thing. Like, Erin, what the fuck is going on here? Because Penner didn't show up to a hearing on Monday?
Yeah.
Who cares?
And why would they be telling you that if you made it clear on your show that that's not what you want?
Right.
You have to then spend the rest of the day writing all of those people back saying, please don't do that. Please take it
Well,
away and making sure it's done.
Actually, Adam, he doesn't have to do that. He can just say it on his show. Don't do that. People keep telling me we could be doing this and this and this and this. Rather than respond individually, I'll just tell you right now, don't do this, 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 and this. And certainly don't do that.
There is so much public stuff that I've found about Erin just by searching and like looking at his like public accounts that I don't ever mention on here because it would bring attention to it, and then people would end up digging into that. Like they don't need to do that,
Right.
so it's just something that you never mention. By mentioning,
For example, no, I'm just kidding.
I'm not right, but it's like he knows better. This is a direct attack that he's doing from his side.
Agreed. I'll get more back into that in just a moment. Let's cool off a little bit.
Right, thanks.
With supertip.gg/WATP, Pooh's channel 666 coming in with a image tip. There is Patrick Melton at the Mayo Clinic.
That's
with Mayo. Not even sure what to make of that. Labyrinth Mystic, my man. He's got an image. So it says, you might start seeing more of these popping up around the place. I'll need to get everyone stickers for spreading the word from my
truck.
Love you more than a friend.
He's got a creep off sticker on it.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's putting creep off stickers all over the U.S. as he travels across the U.S. Thank you, Labyrinth Mystic. Appreciate you. My sister-in-law, Chaos Queen, coming in with an image. Oh my God, this is going to be fun. Oh, it's her prairie dog eating pizza. The prairie dog. It's such a fun thing for my brother in his house. He loves it. Thank you very much, Chaos Queen, for that. Anonymous coming in.
Carl, remember when I was your cool, edgy boy? Give us some of your awesome libertarian takes, Carl. You rule. Excelsior.
All right. I get it. Rick O'Shea.
Yo. Fuck Aaron Imholt. Punk cuck bitch. I personally endorse this message. Catalano 2028.
You have my vote, sir. I like it. Laziest man on Mars.
Erin is the definition of unreliable narrator. What's with this assholes that target Dr. Steve, who BTW is the nicest, most caring, most sincere person I've ever met in both the DV and normal life. I found out I got Dr. Steve as my Secret Santa with Cardiff's Secret Santa thing last Christmas and was super excited. He's my favorite person in the DV. Such a wonderful dude. The few times I met Dr. Steve, I asked him random health questions, and he patiently explained things to me, showing more care and compassion than you know, my actual medical professionals. Only complaints that the AMA cares about when it comes to doctors or patients and other MDs. There are no shortage of insane morons complaining that a random doctor implanted microchips into them.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think Dr. Steve will be fine, but just the fact that Erin wants him to lose his...
He's
medical
always
license.
so available. He gives his number and email out to anyone who needs it. And even I'm speaking on behalf of Dr. Steve. He hasn't asked me to, but like Even if Aaron asked, he would today for help, medical help. He would.
Yep.
He would do what he
He's a
can to help
mensch.
him. He's great.
When the fuck is Super Tip going to tell us what exactly is violent or sexual in our comments? I'm talking to you, Mahmood.
It's a slider that every
I have the slider. Hold on. I have the slider all the way to the. Oh, well, hold on a second. I can be more permissive and hate. Oh, wait. Things have changed since I last did this. All right. I'm getting more permissive. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Sexual content's up. Violence is up.
Yeah.
Wait. Is level 7 the.
Yeah.
It's more
If you drag
permissive.
them all the way to the right, they're as permissive
Dude,
as possible.
I had it all to the right. Something changed. All right. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
guys. Go back to being violent and shitty. We're allowing it all. Laziest man on Mars again.
Erin is such a worthless human. I do find how he is tard-splaining anything about being a doctor or detailing how Dr. Steve is on the ropes eye-opening and hilarious. He can't perceive reality.
I have said it a million times. Erin is totally delusional and the most capable of unaliving someone in the whole Dabbleverse Tard pack.
Wow.
Remember how he like threw aside Coach Scott when he was no longer helpful?
Yep.
Like Coach Scott was someone who went into bat for Aaron, and then as soon as he was no longer helpful to Aaron, Aaron started going out of his way.
Racist.
Yeah.
Like he literally was just like, I brought this guy and his home was down in this luck. Coach Scott didn't want to help him. You know, he's no good. It's like, Jesus. That's all it took, huh?
He's saying he could beat him in a fight now. Like he's like, I wish I would have straightened him out when I was down. Like that's how he talks about Coach Scott.
Yeah, Aaron's a piece of shit. I'm with you.
It's obvious that everyone in that Kiwi farm site are a bunch of parasocial lames. They all want to seem morally correct when they come off as the worst of the worst. They act like Nick snuck into his house and boy oiled his daughter's pet rabbit. They first said it was about Nick's kids. Well, the authorities stepped in. They have more information than you and allowed the kids back to the parents. Melton, they will say he's a PDF file forever over jokes he made or a song or whatever. But be cool with Jim Norton and Uncle Paul, or the other dregs of society reading to children. Aaron found his people, a bunch of fucking born losers like John Melendez. Life is too hard for people.
He does cocaine with his daughter.
He's they start from a position of hating Nick. Like that's their main guy to hate.
Yeah.
And then the radius of like attack increases more and more until they're like digging into one random chatter's history, like criminal history or something like that, of like Patrick's channel. So it's like not even Nick, it's Nick whose enemy is Aaron, whose enemy is Patrick's chatter is the one that they dig into. So
dude,
the radius keeps it.
Quick aside, Moody. We've been following $2 Corky on Stuttering John's channel, and now we went after this guy named Patrick Tomlinson because he was part of this group, the O&A forums, these pests. And when they didn't have anyone to target anymore because Opie and Anthony went away, they found a random guy who tweeted that Norm Macdonald isn't very funny, and they decided to ruin his life. And Adam, have you seen with Ava and $2 Corky on John's show from yesterday yet?
No.
Ava weighs into him and explains to John, like, do you understand that this asshole Dan did the same thing that you complain about people doing to you? And John could not get it. He eventually just pushed both of them off the show.
Wow.
It's hysterical. Props to Ava on that. There's some clips of it we'll probably cover on WTP, I would imagine. Captain Cheese coming in. Not only did Melton break his hump, but Toe Boy and his kids remain thousands of miles away from the Onion. Isn't this exactly what Erin filed in the HRO to get? Isn't this a win for the Toe? You would think. If that's what he wanted, dude can't even travel to Minnesota if he wanted to. And he's complaining about that now? He was pissed that he was in Minnesota before. It's insane.
He doesn't know,
lost the plot.
He doesn't know how to experience joy. He can only experience his enemies have something bad happening, and that's the joy I feel. Whatever that sin
Did you
is.
see? All right. Speaking of that, did you guys see Kevin Brennan when he found out that? I'm sorry. Kaylee says covering some of the $2 Corky and Ava fighting tonight. Yes. Tune into Once Over with Kaylee. We'll redirect everyone when we end the show in a little bit. But she'll also be breaking down the latest from Bennett Susser, John's attorney. What was I talking about? Oh, Kevin Brennan was watching a clip of Tukey or Rocco or someone explaining how much pain Patrick was in all weekend at Hackamania, all the back pain. And he's just fucking hitting his noisemakers. Like, this is great for me. Oh, Patrick's in pain. It's like, these people are fucking, like, they're sociopaths. Like, what is that? Someone else is in pain, so you win?
It's a weird, like, if they lose, I win sort of mentality.
Weird way to live your life.
Yeah, it's like a weird abuse of that old statement. Comedy is when you hurt yourself. Tragedy is when I cut my face, but tragedy is when you take a big fall. It's like in lieu of comedy, we just hate and we just celebrate when horrible things happen to other people.
Well, it's funny because people come into the Dabbleverse go, like Gino says this or Grillo. They'll be like, this is all just like hate. It's like, what are you watching? MLC? Because the rest of us are like having fun, Yeah,
I remember when I was on John's show and Vince the lawyer was doxing my family as we were talking because he was John's co-host, and I pointed it out to him, and he's like, Dabbleverse is an evil place. And, that's you. You let this happen. That's you, John.
And it's been said many times since Hackamania, I'll say it again. The people who came out, all the people who came together to hang out for the weekend at Hackamania, nothing but love, nothing but friendship and fun. And you'd think like, well, this is a cesspool of hate. Everyone is, going after each other. It's just like, no, it's just the opposite.
I'm as shocked as you are.
I was talking to someone, and he said that he's been to the Dick Show events, and he's also been to WATP events in Hackamania. He says that the crowds are totally different. At a Dick Show event, you could feel hostility in the audience from everyone. Yep. Everyone's out to get everyone. Whereas at a Hackamania or a WATP event, people are fighting over who gets to pay the bill. Like they're like it's genuinely nice, and everyone's trying to get along. And it sounds weird to, like, I know it's annoying if you're at home and you didn't come out, hearing everyone say this over and over again, but it's generally overwhelming how nice everyone over there is and how easy it is to get on with everyone.
And it just grows every year.
Yeah.
So there's the proof right there. People enjoy it. They want to come back. They can't wait.
Elias Canetti said in Crowds in Power that the quickest way to get a group together and have them stay together is not to be in favor of something. It's the exclusion of someone else. So we've got that going for us.
There you go. So you're saying it's 1938 Germany when you go.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Hackamania. I got it.
It was a lot of, like, I was helping run a lot of stuff, and obviously the workload was a lot harder because Patrick was more or less incapacitated. So I didn't get much time to hang out or see people. But the one of the things that really got me through the whole event was seeing how much fun everyone was having, and that honestly was the best part of that weekend.
Is that your woe is me take, Moody?
Well, I honestly didn't get to see.
Weekend.
It wasn't like last year for me. Last year it was a lot more easygoing, but this year there was definitely more workload on me than there had been.
Did Patrick at least give you a doctor's note to prove that he was in pain to make it okay?
I should have asked.
Anonymous coming in.
Erin is the biggest faggot I have ever seen in my life, and drinking cum has nothing to do with my assessment.
Mama Kay deliberately walked up to Erin's lawyer while he was talking to the judge and asked for a card because she might need a lawyer because Nick is harassing her too. She's the one constantly showing up wherever Nick is. She's obviously jealous of Erin, April, and Kayla, and has probably masturbated to Nick's giant bird.
I don't know about that.
It would be like, it's hard for someone like Sean, like potentially criminal, or this Mama Kay, the amount of attention that they'd be getting just for being against Nick and doing all of that stuff, it's quite intoxicating. Like there'd be a whole group of people who are otherwise very toxic saying very nice things to you the whole time and being encouraging. And this might be the most attention they've been getting in a very long time. So it's totally understandable why they would continue doing that sort of stuff.
Chaos Queen coming back in again.
I hope the dabblers go balls to the walls on Erin. You don't fuck with Dr. Steve.
I agree. Labyrinth Mystic.
You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't smoke all your weed. You don't pull the mask off an old Lone Ranger. And you don't mess with Dr. Steve.
Well said, Becky Monster. Mark Davis, Dr. Steve offered to help Chad Zumock. Enough said.
Yep.
That is true. Dr. Steve is always there to help people. Count of three, everybody. OD. Wish I was here in the beginning to actually explain Catholicism transubstantiation to you heretics. Also,
We found
and to be
another
quiet.
word Carl doesn't know. Does he know its meaning? Yes or no?
Also, and to be quiet. JK, love you, buddy. You are spared.
I think I know as much about Catholicism as Chrissy Mayer does.
Oh, man.
What? Something funny about what Chrissy Mayer's doing? I don't understand.
The knives are out this week from your crowd.
MMC 1730. I agree Patrick is not violent, but I would hate to go get between him and some brisket.
Pork shoulder's his weakness.
Count of three, everybody. OD. Just like John, Aaron's kids are props. Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously. Abnai, with this Imholt character, Tim Heidecker has taken cringe comedy too far, though Lee Strasberg would applaud the essaying of a perfect prick. Well said. Abnai again. Oh, wow. We're gonna get to a golden shower with this. 10 euros or 10 pounds coming in. It says, can I just make it clear? I want no one to encourage Lucy Lawless to put her Xena armor on again, kidnap me to a disused barn and use me as a plaything for days. I demand no one
contemplates this.
Jesus Christ.
Well, now it's all I can think about.
I get it. I see what you did there. Prince Grant.
New Zealand does have good contributions to the world. Lucy Lawless is one of our best exports. So
phenomenal chocolate.
Yes, thank you for the chocolate.
No worries. Glad you guys enjoyed it.
Prince Grutz says, holy hell, I'm a private citizen. My wife's a dentist. I volunteer firefighter. HIPAA applies to anything medical for anyone. It requires patient consent. Lever Mystic, a lot of huggers in the Devilverse, self-included. Yes. Love you, Lever Mystic.
Why'd he say it like a slur?
A lot of huggers. And Dang Lizard, who I got to meet too at Hackamania with €5, says, you don't go after Dr. Steve. He helped so many people and even helped with emergency surgery on the little KB puppet. Also, Moody stole my granny line.
Sorry about that. Dang Lizard is the one that originated the thought that Granny is a more successful sex worker than Keanu Thompson.
Well done, Dang Lizard.
I'm sorry I did not attribute that to you. Please forgive me. You are the most educated man in the Dabbleverse.
Preacher Bill coming in with a nice reference.
30. Helens agree. Erin is trash.
30 Helens agree. Of course, the great Kids in the Hall sketch. Bruce McCullough giving us a shout out in this little piggy at Hackamania. And I'm going to see Scott Thompson in just a little bit. Which I'm looking forward to. Lever Mystic, sorry. That tune hum at the end.
Was it supposed to be Crash Test Dummies?
Not work out. I don't think that was Crash Test Dummies, was it?
It's a song that was on an ad here. It's like, you don't tug on Superman's cape.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But the Crash Test Dummies parody during Tukey Soup was fantastic. All right, let's get back to Aaron dog whistling his audience.
My stance was, look, I'm not going to do that. I think that's going too far. But I start looking into this last night and this morning, and as people start to send me more and more stuff, I'm becoming less and less sympathetic by the second.
Oh, interesting. Aaron goes, guys, you guys are talking about getting the DEA involved and finding out what practice he's at and going to the medical board. I don't think you should do that. But I'm getting more and more spun up and wound up. So I'm feeling less and less sympathetic towards Steve. So if someone does ruin his life,
that was sympathetic Aaron at the start.
What an asshole.
To this guy because he did such a boneheaded up retard thing.
Sent a note to the court?
And it goes beyond a court case or anything like that. And, I could say more about the Melton case because our hearing hasn't started. There's no gag order. I don't want to because all we have to do is not fuck up. So, like, not have a doctor write us a bogus note after our continuance thing gets denied. Like, you knew for months that this hearing was happening. You'd known for weeks that you have a bad back. You claim you can't sit down on a plane ride, but you sat down for hours doing these shows at Hackamania. What?
Can someone ask Aaron? I mean, he'll never have any of us on the show. Can someone ask Aaron, like, how did this affect you? What changed in your life because of this? What does this mean? Why are you so worked up about this? Why do you want to ruin a guy's life who everyone loves? What happened?
Also, is sitting on a plane different from sitting on a seat or being able to walk around?
It's
and
very different. It's shockingly different.
Yeah.
I would be really interested in is, did Dr. Steve write any scripts? Because
okay,
why?
Again, this is bullshit. Yeah, why would you be interested in that?
How does that impact whether or not Patrick can come to the hearing? Like, what
does that have to do with anything?
Right.
I mean, this right here is where Aaron just loses the thread. He's just like, oh, I've just crossed into the boundary of I'm just an evil person now. I just want to go after people who I feel slighted me in some way.
Mania. What I would be really interested in is, did Dr. Steve write any scripts? Because if he wrote scripts, that's up. That's something that, doctors don't get to be doctors much longer if they're, just writing scripts willy-nilly for people out in Las Vegas. It's very interesting.
What a cunt.
See, Clippers United is me up right now. He actually, if he's trying to with me, it's working. Because he's in the chat going, I was duped. I don't think that Clippers United, I'm telling you right now, I just want to go on record. I'm not buying a fucking word of this. I think he's fucking with me.
Really? Because you were celebrating it earlier with applause and dancing around?
But I would like, if he's being honest, I would like to know why, preferably in a $500 Rumble rant as an I'm sorry, or a 20 gifted memberships as an I'm sorry. I would like to know what it was that made him realize that he was duped. Sam Show says internet lawyers are as accurate as anybody just winging it. That's about it. Root Rat says Dr. Steve and the hunchback he wrote in on. People are really going after him.
Are they? Are people really going after Dr. Steve, or do you keep reiterating that on every program? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Relentless.
He got 9 emails yesterday.
People are just going after him. He's like, Dr. Steve really fucked up. He wrote a note. Jesus Christ. Zoom out. Like, fucking zoom out for a second and look at the big picture on this, Aaron.
It's
and
like
all the other fucking law tubers who hate Nick Ricada and have Aaron's back. Like, zoom out for a minute and look at what this actually is. It's HRO. Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
No, there was a time when they were talking about lifting all the student debt. And all the people that had paid off their student debt were like pissed about it.
Yes.
And you're like, hold on, wait a second. I think you've lost the plot here. Like, what are you rooting for? Just because you had to? Yeah, that sucks, but that's not how it should be. That's what we want, but they weren't grateful. They were just angry.
Yeah.
It feels like, and then, Clippers United doing what he's doing today, like, it does feel like all of that, like, for some, that Vegas event was a mistake, and it's really bringing a lot of shit down. Clippers United says
Wait, the Vegas event was a mistake?
Is that Mersh or Aaron?
Great call. Dude, Mersh was so butthurt about that. Did you see the clip of Mersh going, oh, now Carl's trying to pretend that I'm just like Aaron Nimble? It's like, well, it wasn't my idea to create the game, but it did work.
Oh, if he'd never thrown this festival, then Dr. Steve never would have came, and he never would have written me that bum prescription, and he'd still have a license, and my back would be fine, and I could go to Minnesota as I want. Oh, why did I ever do this Hackamania?
Vegas event was a mistake, and it's really bringing a lot of shit down. Clippers United says, I went to Vegas. Dr. Steve was nice. The other guys were assholes. But, I've been telling you that they're assholes.
Oh, guys, why don't you go to Know It All Aaron? He knows it all. I don't know what your problem is.
They're guys with 300-400 fans, and like 90 of them showed up.
Is that true? There were 90 people at that show, Mooney?
There were more than definitely more than 90.
Still be bigger than his event at Stoney's.
Oh, it'd be twice the size of his event at Stoney's if there were 90 people, but there were way more than that.
And they think that makes them somebody. I'm the only one in this world going, guys, I've been way bigger than this. This is my penance for fucking up. You guys understand that you're doing for a living what I'm doing as a penance for fucking up. You guys are not, I want to tell these other podcasters, you aren't my first choice. I don't know why Steve would stick his neck out like that. I don't know why he would go to stick his neck out like that.
He's like actively trying to fuck with Steve. He said earlier, he's like, yeah, Steve's in a tailspin. He's all nervous about this. And so now he's like jabbing the needle. He's just like, Steve, I don't know why you did this, man. It's going to end up bad for you. He's like really trying to fuck with Dr. Steve over a note so that Patrick wasn't at a fucking hearing. Who gives a shit?
He's fanning the flames and trying to turn this into as big of a fire as possible.
Yes.
He doesn't care who it consumes. Like that's
all week long.
That's what it comes down to.
Erin, can Dr. Steve cure your chins? No, he's not licensed to practice medicine in Minnesota. Hobo Chili says, Erin, this is going to bite you in the ass. No, it can't. I didn't do any. I've literally done nothing.
Huh. Literally done nothing.
Can I talk to Erin for a second? Can I talk to him?
Please.
Do you mind?
I didn't bring up the DEA or the medical board. He did, but go ahead.
For me, he crossed the line and did something even worse than Stuttering John when he went after Dr. Steve, not for something he'd done, but for being a hospice doctor. When he mocked that all he does is put on sandals and give morphine. Erin, you're the one who claims to have a relationship with God and your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Well, I got to tell you something. We were all talking before the show, and I don't care if you're an atheist or what God you believe in. If there is any kind of higher power out there, what you've done goes against it. It's the opposite of humanity. It's being inhuman. When you embarrass a hospice doctor for being a hospice doctor, when you mock that decision, do you know there's nothing harder in the world than being a hospice doctor? And not because of dealing with the person that's dying. That's the easy part, Erin. The difficult part is talking to the family and telling them that it's done and having to live with that when they don't agree. That's what you do every day. I know a lot of these people, and they tend to be the most beautiful people in the world who are very hard partiers and have very big personalities because they have a lot of stuff to get rid of. Yeah. That's what they do. You talk about morality and faith, and this God that you pledge allegiance to is a awesome and vengeful God. So it's not too late to take this back and repent what you just said, because you can accuse him of anything when you want, but when you shit on him for taking the noblest, hardest job in the world, I weep for what you have waiting for you when your time comes. Ta-da!
All right. Excellent job. Don't call us. We'll call you. Next.
Did I get the part?
Adam, well said. Very well said. It's insane that Erin claims to be this guy who's above it all and knows better than all of us. And yet, as soon as he feels slighted by someone, just because, and really what this all comes down to is that Dr. Steve is Team Patrick. Dr. Steve likes NLO. He was at Hackamania. So this note is just an excuse to go after him. He'd love to find a reason to go after anyone who attended this event.
But also,
that means they're against Erin in his mind.
Dr. Steve isn't on Team Patrick or Team Hackamania.
No,
he's
he's
on
not.
Team everyone.
He's not.
Yes, he is.
Of course.
He will literally help anyone, even the people who have been the worst to him.
But Dr. Steve does love the Dabbleverse. He loves NLO. He loves WTP. He loves these shows.
You want to get into Christianity. I think he's one of the most Christ-like people around. As far as trying to heal absolutely everyone that's around and trying to
He
show as
lives
much
by
compassion.
example and doesn't tell anyone what to do. He just does it, and you're in awe of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well said.
Clippers United with $1 says, I'm not. They were assholes the entire time in Vegas. I'm pissed I spent money, but I didn't because I won money. Well, good job, Clippers United. There you go. There you go. Well, you know what? Hey, better late than never, buddy. And here's the thing you'll find out about Steeltoe. As long as you figure it out, we don't give a shit what the timeline is. Welcome aboard. Dude with $1 says palliative care or hospice doctors can exceed the DEA guidelines on painkillers. If he did write scripts, the DEA might have some questions. Well, I got emails from 2 or 3 different people that said they're going, oh, I think I should report this to the DEA. It's like, I don't know. I just know of the bullshit note.
Wow. So now he's not even like saying, don't do that. Now he's just saying like, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess you could go to the fucking drug enforcement agency on Dr. Steve. This guy's lost his mind. He's just trying to fuck with Steve at this point.
Let's get Cash Patel in this as well. Like, if
yeah,
we call
right,
it
exactly. He's such a shithead. It's the same thing with Stuttering John going to the FBI over Kate Meany. It's like, this is nothing, you idiot. Stop it.
That's all I know. The bullshit get out of jail free card that he wrote.
Get out of jail free card? He didn't want to travel to St. Cloud, Minnesota, which you should be for. You shouldn't want him anywhere near you. You have a restraining order out against him.
The rest, he opened himself up to all those other questions by writing that retarded note.
Oh, okay. So Dr. Steve deserves the DEA looking into him and medical board. Okay. That makes sense.
Again, that's the Stuttering John thing. You opened yourself up to being doxxed by joining the Dabbleverse. Yes, by you, John.
Right.
Steve opened himself up to questions from you. You're the
Erin's
one.
the one
Just
who's-
stop it. And
Erin's
they all
the
go
one
away.
Putting this all into place.
That is a different, you know what, that'll all come out later. But it's just to open yourself up to all that when you have a palliative care career and you've been in, and you're an old man, like he's an elderly man. Why would you risk it for a guy with a fucking hunchback in Las Vegas? Because you want the weird, creepy stalker podcasters with HROs on them to think you're fucking cool?
See, this is again, we were talking about this on, I think, Dabbleverse Live this week, where people don't realize that some people don't have motives like Erin does. She's like, why would Dr. Steve do something nice for this guy? Because he wants people to like him. You know, we were talking about this with Rocco taking us all out to dinner. Not you, Adam, but the rest of us. And
It sounded like a lot of fun.
Chad Zubak's like, was he trying to buy friends? Like, oh, why would you do something like this? It's like, sometimes there aren't nefarious motivations behind things. Sometimes Dr. Steve is just a mensch and just wants to do nice things for people who deserve it and could use his help. And this idea that Erin sees us and just goes, oh, you're just looking for acceptance from the NLO crowd. It's like, well, Dr. Steve already has that. He doesn't need
sees
anything.
Aaron sees every relationship as transactional.
Right.
But he's unaware that you can have genuine relationships with people that don't lie with you expecting them to do stuff for you or give you things.
Right.
Like, you can just be nice to each other and not.
Why
keep
would you
that
write
count.
a note for Patrick Melton when you know I could have ruined your life over this? Like, well, I don't think Steve was thinking this is going to ruin my life, because it won't. That's retarded.
But didn't you know there are evil people like me out there that are going to come after you?
Right. Yeah. That's what he's saying.
Yep.
Come on. Don't be such a mark, Steve. Don't be such a f***ing mark. And that's what that behavior is, that writing notes and shit for, oh, like me. Are you licensed to practice medicine on this guy in Nevada? No, not at all. Are you a back specialist? No, I watch old people die. I'm like Mother Teresa. Then don't be a f***ing mark. But I want the streamers to like me. You should never want streamers to like me. I actively want streamers to think I'm Satan. You should not be such a...
Then why do you get the courts involved? If he wants streamers to not like him, then why does he get the courts involved? And he goes to the police, and he goes to the FBI. I don't think this adds up. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Mark for these nerds. I sound like Bubba now. That if I write them notes, will you be my friend? He doesn't leave his house, bro. You guys aren't going to hang.
All right. That's enough. I have to go see Scott Thompson down at the Comedy Club. Very excited for that. I want to thank Moody and Adam for joining me on this little piggy this week. Labyrinth Mystic, who has been supporting the show for a very long time. We appreciate him on Super Tip. When is the next live event? When is the next live event we can all make it to? I'm on my last cookie, Tukey Whimper voice. Oh no. Some great cookies being made. I brought a bunch of those home too.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do WATP in Detroit. That'll be announced soon. And there might be a DabbleCon 3 announced soon, depending on what happens April 22nd. Black Ucha.
Former STM's fan here. Never thought I'd say this. Erin needs the hole. She was far more entertaining.
I agree.
It was a lot more genuinely entertaining.
It seemed like a normal show back then. Minimal participation. $10 says late to the show, but PM and NR need a lawyer like Carl has. To be out with an injury and no communication is unacceptable. Patrick Melton should seek different counsel, especially since he has yet to be heard. I did hear Nick complaining about his attorney a little bit. So I don't know if that's true or not, but you might be right. Preacher Bill, as an expert, I give Adam's sermon 5 stars.
Thank you, Preacher Bill. Spectacles, testicles, pocket, and watch.
Laziest man on Mars.
Erin, there is no afterlife in any religion that will not punish you for wasting your earthly existence on the angry, petty, pathetic life you've led on this gift from the universe you've received.
The Pants Maestro weighing in. This moron is bugging me. The DEA collects every controlled script. If it was a problem, they would already know. Also, medical boards issue private reprimands for malpractice deaths. Steve's fine. He's fine. He is fine. It's just annoying that Erin thinks he has some power and that he could do something to Dr. Steve. Dimpled Balls with $20.
Forget reporting him to the DEA. Wait until I text Gino the picture I have of Dr. Steve's wife.
There you go. Perfect. Laziest man on Mars coming in.
Erin, if Mother Teresa ever met you, she'd shite in your mouth, you.
And Mr.
No one goes hungry on her watch.
Mrs. Meg says, Toe doesn't understand the concept of selfless acts of kindness. Time for a golden shower dance. Yes. Thank you for the $10, Mistress Meg. I know. The fact that people think there has to be motivation behind it.
That just reveals who they are, because they would never do that themselves, so they don't trust anyone else when they do it.
Big Daddy Dodo, 2 huggers stole my truck. Ozone, $5 says, can I ask who was the good friend of Dr. Steve that asked him to get involved in this? Did we learn nothing from the boxing coach?
I don't know what that means.
PL Adam, come on, man. We all know the hardest job in the world is being a mother.
You're right. I stand corrected.
I thought it was being a roofer in July, as Bill Burr would say. All right.
There's one clip that I just want to show before we go. I promised it earlier on in the show. This is from this is back from 2024 in October or July 2024. So very closely after the polycule fell apart. And this is Erin reading a note from his daughter. So this should tell you the impact that his like emotional state is having on the people back then. And he's only become more unhinged and vengeful since then. So
Johnny Crutches used to be so young.
One thing that really turned me around and told me that, you know, the internet is horseshit and internet people are phony and this and that was a letter I actually got from my daughter last week. And it's really, I think I got this Monday or Tuesday, turned my entire outlook and my whole life around. And it kind of taught me what's important and who loves you and all of that. And that's why a lot of this stuff just really can't knock me down. My daughter wrote me a letter. And it was on a day where I was having a tough time. So it was like Monday. Wednesday, everything just kind of snapped into place for me. And this is going to be tough. If I cry like a little bitch, you know, don't be like April and yell at me.
God, fucking stealing my bit. Everybody, I went through a lot of effort and personal shame to establish I'm the cry like a bitch guy. I know. Everybody wants to steal my fucking thunder. Jesus.
Dear Dad, I love you so much, and I care about you. I hate seeing you sad. Just don't be on your phone, and don't be on your desk. We don't want to remember you as a dad who was sad. Stay off it, and remember, I love you so much. Jesus loves you. Your daughter. I love Dad. Charlotte. And she...
It's insane that Erin thought he should bring this to the internet. The thing that she's telling him not to do.
Yep.
Like he doesn't recognize. It's like, no, this is the thing that she's telling you, please stop doing this. And he's like, oh, let me go read this to my internet friends. No, stay away from your fucking internet friends.
Yeah. He is actively fucking his kids up.
Yeah.
Like that's what that note is. Your children should have no idea about your poor mental state growing up.
And
for
if
her
your
to
daughter
have,
does
like-
write you a heart-to-heart like that, that should be between you and your daughter.
Right.
That's insane.
She's 9, I think, at the time of this note. A 9-year-old knowing enough about her father's mental state when he's on the internet to the point of it being sad, to the point where she feels like she has to write a letter to him is really worrying.
And to watch him not understand the letter, he doesn't get it. This is replace it with alcohol. And it's very clear. Like, Dad, stop drinking. Stop sitting at the fridge. Stop drinking. And he thinks we hear that and think he's a victim.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't say, I'm sorry those people are so mean to you, or stop fighting for our rights, or, I'm sorry you're a victim. She's like, stop drinking.
Stop being on your phone all the time. This is peak.
That's
like
enough
him on Kiwi Farms constantly. She can see that when he's around her, he's not engaged in her personal life. He's engaged in trying to fight his internet enemies. That's all crept into his own personal life. And for him to think that the reason he read this note, Adam, is, again, for vengeance. Nick's kids were taken away at this time. So he wanted to read a note where one of his kids said, I love you to him.
That's what it was about.
And that's all he can see. He only sees the I love you, Dad part. He doesn't see the, hey, I have actually noticed that mentally you're a sad person and you're on your phone all the time instead of spending time with me. And it's only gotten worse since then.
That's the key. That's exactly it. Stuttering John put out his GoFundMe, and his family has gone no contact. And it's been a year or so since they did that. And if they were checking in on him and they saw that GoFundMe, they'd be like, this is why we went no contact. We were afraid. This is what he'd be up to. Like, this is worse than it could ever be. He's still railing about his enemies and begging us for money. The fact that you played this right now and you heard what his daughter wants from Erin, well, how has he done since then? Has he put his phone down? It's worse than you could ever imagine. He didn't understand the letter.
He's dragged her into his battles. That's what he's done. He's
Her name
filed
put
on
on the
behalf
HRO.
of her in the courts. He's taken,
And he's
like,
dragging
her,
that monster Melton to St. Cloud to harass her, which is
She's
wild. That would happen.
earnestly reaching out to him, and he's using that as he's using her as a pawn in his internet fight.
The least Erin can do to make up to it is to give her a world where she can grow up knowing Dr. Steve is not out there on the streets.
Cyborganic, $5. I met Dr. Stephen Lombard and Hackamania 2. He's a great guy who doesn't deserve to be harassed by this loser. Every single person who's met Steve says the same thing. He treats everyone exactly the same, and with respect and compassion.
What he's done since then is, if you on incognito mode, so with no cookies, search the word Imholt, her last name, you would get articles about her father, how her father abuses women. That's what he's done since then.
Laziest man on Mars.
Know who I never wrote a letter to? My dad, because he was always right there. No postage necessary.
That's funny. That's a good point. Labyrinth Mystic, no one goes hungry on her watch. Shit, good one, Adam. All right, I do have to get out of here. Comedy shows await. I'm going to redirect everyone over to Kaylee's channel. Lucy Does Dabbleverse is on right now, breaking down the ways from Stuttering John's attorney. Very funny stuff going on in the Lowell suit. We'll have hopefully more news after the 22nd, which is our next scheduled court date. Well, not court date. We're in the judge's chambers at the courthouse.
Good luck.
Moody, anything to plug?
Fuck Aaron Imholt. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is the lowest thing that I think he's done. And we've seen him do a lot of low shit, but to do this to someone so undeserving is disgusting.
Over something so trivial too. Like, who
Right.
gives a shit?
Like, it's
insane.
just, I'm actually upset this week. So,
Yeah, we
But-
were texting, like, Moody saw this stuff before I did. And he's like, my blood is boiling. And once I caught up, I was like, yeah, this is next level. I don't usually get mad at any of these locals we make fun of, but this pissed me off.
That aside, thanks to everyone who came out to Hackamania. That show was really, really fun. It's on the Nobody Likes Onions YouTube channel if you want to watch it. I do some of the most extensive analysis I've ever done on Aaron in that show. And I also
Your charts were a hit, Moody.
Yeah, they were.
They were.
Absolute hit. That was amazing. I was
And we
very
raised
happy.
a lot of money during the begging segment. So
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Check that out.
Almost $500 from the audience. Adam, anything to promote, my friend?
Yeah, I just want to encourage everyone to check out Jesus Christ if they're looking for a Lord and Savior. And I am already at this point a stronger and more practicing Catholic than Erin is.
I agree
God bless
with
you,
all
everyone.
of that. Dude, thanks so much for joining us, Adam. Great to see you. I'm glad you were part of the show. And I'm Carl signing off.
There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steeltoe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the key to spill, it's always flipping. From April's script to Erin's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma, another win. Oh, that's the karma.